Hello and welcome to Roll For It, where we're coming back with Veil Torn episode 6. I'm at the helm today, which means everything is going to set on fire, but we'll see how we go. Yell in chat if anything is going horrifically wrong. But Maggie's away at a convention, but is still calling in, of course.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not I would not. Oh my gosh, I've been having so much fun. I'm not dressed up, but I am repping the Kitsune vibes with my I Give No Fox shirt.
Yes, so let's go through our announcements for today. Thank you to Thunder Cabbage for supporting today's episode. We appreciate you very much. Our legend tier supporter for today. And Daylight Savings, we've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks at this point. So we're still all wonky this week, as you may have noticed, but the good news is that next week it's going to become normal-ish again, because UK and EU and a couple of other people's clocks are going to change to catch up with the change that the US and Canada did, or most of the US and Canada did. So if your clocks do change this weekend, then nothing will change for you. The show will continue as normal. But if your clocks don't change this weekend, because they already changed or they never change, then the show will become 1 hour earlier for you again, I think. It'll go back to how it was, most likely. If you still have clock changes, everything will just go back to how it was. If you don't have clock changes, it'll now remain where it is. That's the
Bentham, you just made it so much more confusing. Okay. It is.
But I said the two things. If your clocks change, if your clocks don't change. That's all you gotta know.
You could just give them actual times, though.
It's gonna go back to 6 p.m. UK. It's always 6 p.m. UK, and it's gonna be 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Pacific.
Oh my god, not 10 p.m. Let's not do that.
Oh god, please don't do that.
Oh dear, I hate time. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why don't we always change our clocks at the same time? Why do we change our clocks at all? These are all good questions.
Do you want Kyoko's answer about time, or do you want mine?
Oh no. I don't want the terrifying, absolute perspective on reality that Kyoko can probably convey. It's a bad time. Bad time for the brain. The NPC names post is out for this month, so you can submit names for NPCs. We'll get used to our show. That's for Hero Tier and above on the Patreon. And also, the Veil Torn character sheets are still coming soon. It's my fault. You can yell at me. Eventually, I will get them actually set up and posted. It's all me.
I tried to remind him. I even put a calendar thing on the calendar.
Yeah, Maggie keeps poking me, and I keep not doing it. I'll get it done. You can also find our monthly recap, our live monthly recap, next Tuesday, the 28th, at 4 p.m. UK, 8 a.m. Pacific, which conveniently is after the time stuff has gone back to normal. Just to make that a little bit less confusing. But we'll be doing our second live monthly recap for Hero Tier again on the Patreon. Also, we are going to have a guest joining us in next week's episode. Our first guest for Veil Torn, and it is someone who has appeared once before on Roll For It. It is
first of many.
Alicia Marie, guesting with us this time next week.
Oh yeah.
And we'll find out what on earth she's playing and what the hell's gonna happen to us. I imagine we're gonna be on a train.
I'm really excited for her cosplay too. She always cosplays like Supremo.
It'll be like a murder on the Denver Express situation or something.
Okay, well, let's not make her a murderer. What the heck?
Well, no,
I mean, we
she
can
doesn't have
if
to be
you
the
want
murderer.
to. I can make
it could
that
be
work.
she could be the detective.
Ooh. Oh, it's like a clue. It's like a mystery. We have to find out who murdered somebody on the train. Actually, don't give Kevin ideas. I see him over there rubbing the beard, like, murder on the train. You say?
Throwing out
It's definitely
for the
it's a habit. I mean, I can change. I'm adaptable.
Kevin and I have been talking about how we're going to take Azuka out, so maybe this is
You shut up. Stop that.
What would Kyoko do if Azuka wasn't there? You can't hide from the camera.
That's very cool. That
You've done this to
doing that.
yourself.
I know. I was like, what's happening?
Also, we are sponsored by Roll20 here on Roll For It. We use it for most of the things we do. It's what we're using right now to play Pathfinder, because it's a virtual tabletop that plays all kinds of different RPGs. You name it, it's probably got a sheet for it that's got fancy macros and things set up, so you just have to press buttons. And if it doesn't, you can make it. So there's an ever-expanding list of things that are covered. Like, when we were setting this up, there's like, oh god, there's like 6 different Pathfinder versions. Like, which one do I use? Yeah, it's great for that. It's how we roll our dice and keep our character sheets in order.
The sheet is very comprehensive, and
Yeah.
so much that we didn't even realize it was auto doing some things.
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
also
really
like
nice
the
stuff.
conditions, like it automatically applies them to your rolls. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
It's very
Like
well said.
armor penalties
Props
as
to
well.
whoever did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the announcements. So I'll tell you where you can support us. You can support us on Patreon. There's other ways too, but Patreon is the main way that we're able to fund all the cool stuff that we do. There's a bunch of tiers on there that give you a whole bunch of rewards. You can get MP3s of all of our shows. You can get after shows that we record after every show. We talk about what happens in the show. Do our stars and wishes and things like that. You can get character sheets. You can get enemy character sheets and other secret tidbits from GMs about monsters that we're facing and plans for sessions and places we didn't go and places we did go, that kind of thing. You can watch the monthly recaps where me and Maggie talk about how things have been going for Roll For It in the general sense, and usually ramble on about the shows that we're doing and how much we love them.
Our next one's live on the 28th at 8:30 a.m. Pacific.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Right.
update. That's right. When I said it earlier, but it's 4:30 p.m. UK, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, because of course I just copied it from last week when I got it wrong, so it's still wrong. I am smart. It'll be there. You'll see it. We'll tweet it and everything. You can submit names for NPCs. You can also, if you're a Legend tier, support an episode every month and take part in a once monthly Legends game where you get to play in an RPG session, one shot gemmed by a member of the Roll For It cast. We've currently got Kyber sorting one out at the moment that may have an impact on our game or may see things that our game hasn't seen.
Yeah,
Depending on how it
we're
shakes
getting
out.
down to the nitty gritty of it, and it's going to be pretty fun. I'm excited. We have some cool character ideas going.
I'm looking forward to I mean, maybe not hearing about it, because the more important it is for our story, the less we should know until suddenly we do know. You can also support us.
It'll
on-
affect it.
You can also support us on Twitch. You can, of course, subscribe. You can do bits. You can do tips and all that kind of thing. And on YouTube, you can become a YouTube member. You get emotes and badges and stuff. And it's the whole spiel. I've said it a million times at this point. Maggie does it very well, better than me. You can also support us just by being here, just by showing up, contributing to the numbers. And if you press buttons like liking things and following and favoriting and all that kind of thing, it presumably helps. It presumably makes algorithms somewhere appreciate us and show us to more people, so that more people can enjoy our cool stories, and then we can do more. It's a whole thing. So we appreciate all your support. We love it when you clip, of course, because whenever we're doing tweets, we go and look through the clips selection and pick the best one for the tweet that week. So we always appreciate when you do that. And yeah, that's the stuff. Thanks for watching, and let's get on with the show. I'm gonna hand it over to Kai, and we can do the things.
All right. Well, hey guys. So, we finished off last session arriving to Denver, the gates opening, driving in. You had your conversation with the conductor about, hey, we're here for the train. We're going to be in. It's like, oh, wait, I thought there was only one person. This is interesting. So he is checking out some papers while you guys have the day. It's around 2 to 3 o'clock. You were driving into the downtown. You know that with the conversation with the conductor, you know that there is a space for the car to be loaded into the back, so we don't have to worry about that. You don't have to leave your car behind. But you do have the day to explore. As you drove up to a parking spot, there was a plethora of different shops, some confectionery places down the street with some nice little sugars and pastries. It's just a lovely downtown bustling area. And one of the things you see is the massive diversity that comes with the downtown, with the Denver area. You see elves, dwarves, gnomes, you see strix, you see lizard folk, you see all of these different combinations. And it's pretty different comparatively to Los Angeles. I mean, Azuka even sees other tieflings or other pseudo monstrosities walking around without much care of the people around them. So with that, what would you guys like to do?
Could we kind of backtrack a little to
Sure.
our travel and the loot we got?
Of
So we
course,
know
if you
what
guys,
those things are.
yeah. So you were able to get from the, I keep calling it like a tomb or a temple, but it was a home at the place that you were last time. There's a staff, a little arm wrap that has like a thickened section along the top of the forearm. You have a silver ring. There is a rune that has this dark red inscription upon it in an arcane structure. You have this mark, this band that has a similar script to the final rune that had the Ifriti written around the outside, and as well as a silver bow with a quiver of different ammunition. So if anybody would like to make an Arcana check to see what we can get, what we can find, what we can figure out of those things, if you guys would look at specific items, if you guys would like to do that.
A silver bow?
Silver bow. Found by Kyoko. It's like a silver recurve bow with this lovely sylvan filigree going along it that has this almost like shine to it. Like as the light hits it, it hits it and kind of reflects through all of the different etchings to kind of give it this like natural glow.
Can I propose a secondary role since part of my being would have known pretty much everything in this house?
Ooh.
I would say you get a +5 circumstance.
Yeah, I was saying basically rolling instead of Arcana, rolling like a memory check.
If you'd like to roll knowledge, if you would like to, we can say that you have. We would say you would be like trained in it. So any skill that you would have, I don't think you have like knowledge, my old stuff written into your character sheet. So we can assume that we could do like a knowledge, anything that would be trained or expert in. We'll go with trained.
Okay, I'm gonna create a new roll thing.
And anybody can do this Arcana check. I don't want to restrict it to just one person because I would like you to know the things you have on you.
I'll make
give
it
it a go.
Arcana check.
I am not a good Arcana person, but I will roll if you all would like. It's just probably not wise.
You can
I mean,
all
I can
roll.
see Kyoko like picking up and being like, "Oh, I've seen what they've done with this thing."
A 10.
I think
not
for
great.
Kyoko, she could use her other skill, but it would be more of like knowing the history of it, like because I get to. I'll post it in chat. Basically, I think it's this one
Yeah.
maybe, where I can touch things and I can read their psychic impressions. But I feel like that doesn't make sense for knowing necessarily.
Similar
Identify.
to detect magic, in that you move at half travel. Significant emotions.
Yes.
Okay, 27.
19 plus 8.
So Chuck knows what all of these things are. You have the 50 gold in the pouch. You have the 100 gold chalice. You have the 720 gold large iron cauldron. And I'm assuming you put the cauldron into the bag as well. So, hey, bonus. You have this almost petrified wood staff that has these really interesting carvings of animals along both ends. So that is a greater animal staff. If anybody would like to have that, it's like a spell staff. You can do some really fun things with that. Find that in compendium. The arm bracer that has like the thickened leather on the top with the arcane inscriptions is a spell guard shield, which gives you a +2 to saves against spells. So it's a little like energy shield that only pops up for that. The ring is actually something that's really interesting. It's called a mist form mask. For 1 minute, once per day, you can cross the ring across your face, create a silver mask on your face as mist conceals your body, and you gain the concealment trait for a minute. Then there is the mark of the Ifriti, the obsidian mark that has this like ebony housing that you can then add 1d4 fire damage to a fist attack. Purely fist attack, has to be unarmed. The bow is a +2 silver recurve bow, which has the same stats as like a longbow. And with it in the quiver is 10 corrosive ammunition. So 10 arrows that do 1d8 persistent acid damage. And that's everything. Divide it up amongst you guys as you see fit.
What was the shield?
The shield is a spell guard shield.
Okay.
So you can use a basically when a spell comes at you, you get a +2 to your saves, be a fortitude, will, reflex, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. And then the fist attack thing, was that the wraps or the rune?
There was this
It was
mark.
this-
So it's like this. It's like this obsidian plate within an ebony housing that has this Ifriti mark on it. It's something actually Red could use. If you wanted to incorporate it into Red, he could then get 1d4 fire onto his melee attacks.
Uh-huh. I wouldn't mind
If you
that,
would like
or
to.
the Spellguard shield for Mintala. That could be fun.
I think I would take the
Someone's
bow.
got to be selfish here and go. Yeah, go for it. See?
No one wants the bow because I use bows.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and add a +2 silver bow into your inventory.
But I will say this, that first combat in that, it was the first time that she had actually shot something before. So.
I mean, maybe the
Um,
+2 will help out in this way.
Is there an easy way to drag that onto my sheet, or should I just create a new item?
It's like a
I would say we're going to have to go to the compendium for that.
Okay. I may have
Hold
to
on,
do
I can-
that when I am not remote, because
No worries.
this is difficult.
I'll go ahead and take care of that.
Unless you want to drag it onto my sheet for me.
Oh, there's also the rune. There was the rune that had the dark red inscription on it that on crit adds 1d4 persistent bleed damage. So you can put that on any weapon.
I see that and turn to Chuck.
bazooka.
Do you want that?
I mean,
I think you should have it.
I suppose I could put it on one of these antiques.
Yeah, those antiques did some pretty decent damage when we kind of needed it, so a little bit more doesn't hurt. At least not us, it'll hurt the one you're firing at.
That's fair. Not a bad idea.
I don't think any of the other items are really my kind of thing.
The concealment mask is not you?
I'm in melee range all the time anyway. I don't know how helpful that would be.
Does concealment just make it hard for you to get hit by stuff?
Yes. It does give you like circumstance bonuses against being hit, being recognized, being seen, that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'll
Well-
take that.
I think that if we have someone trying to get to you and find you, it might be very helpful for us to conceal you.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, I'll take that. And that's the ring, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the
So-
ring that makes a mask.
Yeah, it's a ring, and if you flash it across your face, this silver mask comes up. This like you get these little like glowing eyes that pierce through it, and like this mist form comes out. It's pretty fun.
I keep clicking on the thing.
You have to flash yourself.
What's it called?
The mist form mask. It lasts for a minute.
What's the rune called? I just called it rune of bleeding.
It's just a bleed rune. So in Pathfinder, it's not like you get like +1 magic items, +2 magic items. Each thing that is a plus comes with like a rune on it that can be exchanged between weaponry. So this is just a rune that you can put onto any weapon.
How do I put it on the weapon?
You just go to the weapon and modify it. Yeah.
You just add the modifications to your roll.
What was the additional damage for the thing?
On
Damage?
crit?
Damage.
On crit, you specifically apply a 1d4 persistent bleed.
That's pretty cool.
I think
But you
that
have to
fits
crit
well.
first. You have to crit first, though.
Yeah.
The only struggle. But hey,
With
free
Chuck's
loot.
aim. Yeah. I mean, I can't make you guys too powerful. All right.
And then the staff was the last item we didn't assign, right?
Yes. So the animal staff. Just to let you guys know what that can do. Let me
What-
Feels
pull it
bad.
up exactly.
I feel like Mentala's gonna want that. Who has
Yeah,
the
I feel like that's
Spellguard bracer?
Mentala. I think Mentala wanted the Spellguard shield.
He was definitely
So-
taking the rune or the Ifriti thing to put on Red.
Yeah, I'll have the shield if no one else is having it, but I'm already getting if I'm getting the fire fist thing for Red, then I don't need to get both.
Who's most likely to get shot at and needs saves when it comes to spells? I was thinking it was either Kyoko or you.
I feel like Kyoko's usually at range, but I guess if she's near Azuka.
Well,
mean,
it's
Mentala will
because you're
usually
still
be at range.
targeted by... Yeah, you're still targeted by spells at range. That's what the Spellguard Shield's for.
You are
Yeah,
the
but I
healer,
have
so if
good-
anyone should survive,
That's
big
true.
attacks, it is probably you.
That's true, but I have
So-
pretty good saves.
The animal staff, by the way. The staff is topped with carved animal and monster heads. While wielding the staff, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to nature checks to identify animals, as well as you can activate it to cast certain spells. The cantrip is no direction, so you know where you're going. The first spell, or the first level spell, is Magic Fang and Summon Animal. Second level is Animal Messenger, Speak with Animals, Summon Animal. Third form is Animal Form and Summon Animal. So you get like mini druidic aspects.
I feel like Mentala makes sense for that.
Tyler, or Bentham, if you want to turn Tyler up a little.
I did. I'll also turn the music down a smidge.
One second, what you guys are deciding.
So what was the thing for Red? The other thing you was, or for me, what was the other thing you were saying I should have?
The
staff.
animal staff.
And the mark of the Defriti and the greater animal staff.
Mm-hmm.
The cat was getting playful.
Yeah, I
All right.
can't find the mist form mask in the compendium.
It's not in the compendium. It's
Okay.
normally a potion that I was able to turn into
Okay,
that.
I'll just add the potion then.
So the mark of Ifriti, and what was the other
And I'll be
thing?
able to modify that after today. I'll change everything into the proper items that it is.
Animal staff.
Animal, right?
The greater animal staff.
Greater animal stuff. That is in the compendium, actually.
Oh, that's perfect.
Is the bleed rune in the compendium?
Just runes, I guess, are in the compendium. Let me see. No, not specifically that.
Yeah, it just says damage, bleed damage information.
Yeah.
That's fair. So all that's left is the Spellguard Shield, which we were thinking Kyoko for.
But wouldn't you take that, Tyler? I feel like you've gotten hit the most out of all of it. Well, you and Bentham. You and Mentala.
I mean, my Fortitude save is a E10, Reflex is E11, and Will is E8.
Ooh,
Plus,
okay.
when I roll a Will save, I have Stubborn, which allows me to do some other stuff. Basically, I
Okay.
can't crit fail Will saves.
Okay, that's pretty good. So to you guys, I'll take it if you want.
Yeah, I think you take it.
So that's what does it do? Just so I know. 'Cause I
It's
can't
a
really
+2. Yeah, it's a +2 item bonus when saving against spells, just of all kind. It's so fun when you're a GM and you like pick all these items out and you're like, ooh, this will probably go to this person, this will go to this person, this will go to this
It goes
person,
to
and then
completely different
nothing
people.
goes to anybody you would expect.
You'll have to tell us in the after show who you thought things were going to go
100%.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
Thanks for sorting that out. Sorry.
Totally
I was
okay.
like, we should probably sort out the items in case people want to use them during our Denver traverse.
Yeah, of course. Your casual trip through the shops is really going to need a bleed rune.
You never know.
Hey, the like concealment mask could come in handy.
Mhm. I just
But
love
yeah,
the
you're right.
idea.
Most of these things would not be useful.
I mean, hey, you never know. If you guys have a bad interaction, if you meet that brown person down the wrong hallway, who knows? So with that, we go back into you guys hanging out inside of Betsy, going over all of the loot. You hear music, just coming from different nearby taverns and bars and diners. A lot of chatter, a lot of conversation, some cars going back and forth. You see people on horses. Off in the distance, you see humans and elves and dwarves walking along the walls. Just kind of, it's like surprisingly calm. Nice day.
So what I think Azuka's in the passenger seat of the car and it's like, what are we gonna do in the meantime? It's leaving tomorrow, right? So I guess we have all of today.
Well, I suppose you can do whatever you want, so long as we don't get too far away. Is there something you've ever wanted to do, Azuka?
I don't know. I mean, I guess there are plenty of things I've wanted to do. I don't know what I can do here. I don't know what the options are.
What do the kids
As
call
you were
it these
saying that,
days? A bucket list?
as you guys are having that conversation, you see walking just in front of the car, casually, not even thinking, a tiefling with horns coming out, a tail going out to the side, just laughing, having a natural conversation with a human. Just kind of just going past you. It's just casual thing.
I think Kyoko flinches in case she gets some kind of weird vision. Like braces herself.
Nothing.
All I know is I need a drink.
Well, there's plenty of places to get a drink around here, but I don't think that's a place we want to take Azuka.
Wait, why not?
Aren't you a little young to be drinking?
I'm 24.
Oh, I thought you were 17. Sorry.
No. No.
Originally, I thought you were 17. That was like
No.
your thing.
Yeah, Azuka is the youngest of the group, definitely, but for sure not
Never
super young.
You're good because I
timeline.
think honestly because Kevin, you introduced my character as a child on a bike. Like,
You know what? I didn't want to say that, to be honest. I thought we were going for a younger character right off the bat, and then you were like, I want to be this age. I'm like, all right, we're changing this. So
Yeah, I was under the
that I
impression
do
that you
take
were
fault for that. That was on me.
17.
Yeah,
It's all right,
remember
my
you
guy's
messaged me
old
how old am I? And I
regardless,
was like,
so-
yeah, 24.
She did not say that.
Also,
Okay.
back in this time, if you were with an adult, it didn't matter.
Yeah. It's very true. Not as many laws regard. Actually, if it was really back in this time, we'd be doing the prohibition. But that kind of
Prohibition,
stopped when the
yeah.
tear happened, and people were just like, "Look, things are going to heck outside. We might as well enjoy a drink."
Yeah.
So speakeasies
World splits
became
in
more
half.
popular.
Monsters flood in. Government's like,
Mhm.
yeah, all right, you can drink. That's fair, actually.
Yeah, so that's where you get the reversion back to like the similar to the Roaring Twenties, where you have a big population of speakeasies that get turned into these massive popular bars because we no longer have the restrictions of them, so they don't have to hide.
Gotcha.
Listen, I'm getting a drink.
Uh,
If you want to join me or you don't want to join me, that's up to all of you guys. But after walking through memory lane of whatever this other spirit is inside me,
Yeah, I
That's
think
fair
that's
enough.
fair.
Everyone handles things differently. I think I'll probably go take a little stroll.
Do you
Sounds
mind?
like a good
Okay.
plan. I want to do a little explore.
Well then,
Uh,
I suppose I won't be doing it alone.
I'll come with, if that's okay.
You're welcome to join.
on the exploring or the drinking?
Oh, I'm going for a stroll. I think I try not to drink, especially in stressful situations, because yeah, that usually doesn't help me specifically very much.
Well,
All right. I'll
I
make
think
sure
you
the
and I
car's
have-
on the train. Well,
I think you and I have something in common then. Drinking sometimes messes with time for me.
Oh, I've never considered that. That must. Are you like constantly struggling with time?
Something like that. More about trying to keep myself grounded. Will you be alright on your own, Chuck?
as if I haven't spent most of my life that way to begin with.
Doesn't mean you want to be.
I'll be fine. I'll make friends with the barkeep.
I would leave Red with you, but as soon as I get, like, 100 feet away, he would disappear.
So, Chuck, you're looking around for a place to grab a drink. There's a couple of diners, but then you see across the intersection away from you, there is a very well-made bar that has like a little silver dollar above it, called the Silver Dollar Saloon, if you would like to go there. It seems to be pretty popular.
That sounds great. I was also going to mention that he'd put the car wherever it needs to go to get loaded onto the train first.
So
no drinking and driving in this episode.
Right. The train tracks are actually fairly close to this downtown area. Fortunately, the train is nearer to the outside of the walls. So it's like train station, small setup, and then downtown coming from there. You see off in the distance, you see Coors Stadium, like half built, some of it little fallen down from the earthquakes and the tear. But off to the side, you see a bunch of outside of the walls, ivy covered houses going on. So yeah. Who wants to go first? Do we want to do the bar or do we want to go with the stroll?
I'm done
You
with
wanna
hearing
roll
what
for it?
happens in the bar since Chuck's all alone.
All right.
Let's see what he gets himself into.
So you stroll on over and you walk through the doors. The Silver Dollar Saloon is a popular bar located in the heart of downtown Denver. The exterior of the building is made from old brick and has a rustic western vibe. The large wooden doors creak as you open into the dimly lit space, but then you're immediately struck by the elegant decor and the upscale atmosphere. As you approach the bar, you notice the finely crafted mahogany woodwork and brass fixtures. Around you are a plethora of dark elves, dwarves, fewer humans, but there's this very well-kept half-elf behind the bar, as well as a gnome who seems to be walking on this like platform behind them so that they can still be above the bar space themselves. And you hear this lovely music as you're brought in, and then as you walk in, the music kind of dies down as this dark elf woman takes the stage as she starts to sing.
We can't hear you.
Mm.
All right, well, then I'll just go with my normal voice. Screw it. This lady takes the microphone and she goes, "We're going to start out the night with a tune to remind us of everything before the revelry." She kind of gathers herself as music starts to build. My love, my fear, I will not say.
It's cutting you out.
See?
a lot.
You're
Yeah.
getting
Really?
cut off.
Yeah.
We really
You need to
need
mess with your noise gate.
Oh.
I really need to mess with that,
I think it's peaking. That's why, so it's cutting it off.
probably. It
It
goes,
sounds beautiful, though.
my love, my fearless love, I will not say goodbye. Sea may rise, sky may fall, my love will never die. As she then swells to a louder chorus as some of the bar kind of chimes in with them. And it's a song of remembering the people that everybody's separated from in the tear. And they have this kind of like sombrance section in the middle of the day. And then at the end, they start with a little drum solo beat on, some kind of brass comes out, and we get a and they start really going into this loud like lounge kind of vibe, and everybody starts like pick up, people start dancing and having a good time. You notice actually there's a lot more like dark elf people in here than there were like outside doing that, because this would technically be their late night, being nocturnal people. So Chuck is now in this this very boisterous bar by himself. Everybody's super happy and around you. What does Chuck do?
He just walks up to the bar and says, "Give me whatever's hardest. And also whatever the lady would like."
Oh, you want to court the lady? Oh, that's going to be quite fun. Hey, we got
I'm not
some.
courting the lady. I'm buying them a drink.
Yeah, that's what I say. Is there a difference between what I'm saying and what you're saying?
I'm not interested.
Then why are you buying them a drink?
For the song.
Yeah, it's a pretty song. You confuse me, but, you know, I'll figure you out. You seem new to town. As he, like, turns around, he grabs, like, you sure you want the hardest stuff? We got some moonshine here that'll make you blind in 2 days. Are you sure? If not, like, we could get, like, the hardest stuff, and I could grab some whiskey from the back, but if you want, like, the stuff that'll make your tongue go numb, we got that for you.
I'd rather have something that numbs the insides.
Well, I
Not
got like
my
absinthe and
senses.
heroin in the back, like it's like numb the same. Okay, we're gonna get the moonshine for you. Okay, don't worry. You know, it's got some peaches. That'll be a little flavorful, huh? Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be fun. So he turns around, grabs a little jar off the top that has like 3 peaches that have just kind of blended in. He pours it in, and it has like this thicker consistency to it. He's like, I know the lady. She's gonna want a wine, if anything. So I definitely don't want to be sending her any of this moonshine because she's got about 2 to 3 more songs to do tonight.
Like,
That'd be terrible if we had that.
I told you whatever she fancies.
All right. And I want to like make sure it's very fancy stuff, the stuff that she likes. Like it's like 2 gold for a bottle. So sending her a glass of that might be a bit like off.
Chuck will reach
Like, I don't want to
into his
judge you by your
pocket.
appearance, sir, but like, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah,
You
the
reach
hat's
through your
on.
pocket into my bag of holding for 2 gold.
Fair.
I'll take it
I
off
think
my
I
sheet.
have gold on my sheet somewhere.
You do have
Ooh.
some. I feel like everybody had some starting gold left over, but then Chuck didn't really ever have a lot on him because not a lot of people ever had Chuck pay for things. People always just like, okay, I can talk to the MO business people and get everything set up, but does Chuck have money on him?
I'll take it off mine. But I'll definitely give Chuck money before we leave.
Okay.
Before we parted
We can
ways.
see. Yeah, we can give the appropriate necessary amount of money.
Just take 20 gold and I will remove it from mine. Just so you
That
have
sounds
it.
good.
Cool. Moonshine
Hope
costs
you're
you
not gonna
about
spend more than
4
that.
silver. The glass of elven wine, he goes like, you see, he starts like, pours you a moonshine, hands it over, takes one of the peaches out, and then like puts it on the glass for you. And he goes, there, I made it fancy. And he starts getting this really like silver filigreed bottle out from, I don't know why I like the word filigree so much. Takes it out from below the bar. And he goes like, now this is something special. This actually came over from the tear from the Elven realm. And I swear to God, if they ever make something like this again from here, I'll quit and just go work there. This would be beautiful. He kind of smells it and just sits it down. And he like calls over another waiter, this halfling who just comes over, grabs it and starts walking back over and sits the glass next to her on the stand. And she looks at it and then looks up at you and just kind of gives like a nod and continues to sing.
Chuck just kind of tips his hat.
Well, so what brings you to town?
To a journey and adventure of the past and the present.
Well, if that
Cheers.
is not the most vague answer I have received all day. But hey, cheers it is. He kind of pulls out a little glass, takes a little like quarter shot for himself and goes, right. So,
Taking the train in.
my name is, let's check the list. My name is Televiren. What can I do for you? You have nobody with you, so I assume you'd want some form of conversation, anything going on here.
Yeah, that's fine. Well,
God, you're like pulling teeth to make friends, huh?
any other day, and it'd be a different story.
Well, then we shall both sulk here in silence, as I have failed in an attempt to make a friend, and you didn't even try.
Who
Maybe
said
next
I
time.
wasn't trying.
Oh, sir, if this is your attempt to make a friend...
You ask me a question, you don't even give me a chance to answer. What do you expect me to do?
I make the appropriate pauses and wait. And you're not, like...
Listen, I just found my old home from before the tear
You're a human.
and the
do you mean
body
before
of
the-
my loved one. So, if you bear with me, I'm going to move a little slow.
Well, I do apologize. I didn't realize this was a mournful setting. The next one's on me. He kind of turns around, grabs the moonshine thing, and pours in another glass and sets it down next to you. Is there anything you'd like to explore or talk about?
How do you mend a broken heart that wasn't even your heart to begin with?
Again, with the vagueness, like, sir, I do not have the context for which you want me to have, so I'm going to need a bit more than that.
I'm of two spirits.
Oh, twin folk. Nice. There's spattering talks about that. People that were in the same place at the same time. You know, for a moment there. Intertwined. It's not by any means a common thing, but you're like the second one I've ever met. How is that like? You like hear
What's
them?
it like?
Yeah.
Not like they talk in my head or anything, but
Oh.
for whatever reason, I have some abilities that they had.
That's pretty cool. It goes, you hear it all different ways. Some people hear talking, some people hear like a full, I guess like you, they hear nothing, but I don't know.
No, for me, it's like the knowledge they knew comes across like it's knowledge I already knew. Like if they spoke a different language or something like that, it just sounded like normal human talk.
It's not bloody convenient.
And hella confusing.
Oh, I bet. Have an entire life in your noggin that you didn't even live yourself and suddenly it's there. It's like the reverse of drinking too much and waking up with a blackout. You just wake up and suddenly you got an entire other life in your head.
Not to mention that, the amount that it's affected your life without you even realizing it.
That's something I can't speak to myself, but sounds confusing.
You know, if you'd caught me years and years ago, before this whole terror thing happened, which of course then I wouldn't even be talking to you.
I feel like that's kind of rude, but I feel like I'm kind of a likable guy.
I'm saying the conversation's good. I'm explaining I was somebody.
You still are somebody, friend. Just a different somebody.
No, but I was somebody in a different way. You see, I would have hit on her.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
nonsense
friend,
to tear. Nah.
Let me tell you something. The only person that you can be is the one that you allow yourself to be. So if you want to go and be that person again, go and be that person again. Go up and flirt with the lass. There's nothing wrong with it. Just be kind, be respectful.
I don't think that I want that.
Now, is this something that you can't do or something that you're getting in your own way of? Because a lot of the times, you're very capable of... Like, I could go and do anything I want. If I wanted to, I could walk up there and I could kiss her right now. I would be smacked, thrown outside, and probably thrown in jail for harassment. But, you know, it's something I can do.
Chuck reaches into a pocket. How much gold to see that?
Oh, friend, as much as you want to give me, I'm not wasting this job. I got great music, very weird conversation, and good co-workers. As like the gnome off to the side is now doing all of the work that he is not doing by having the conversation with you.
All right, then how about a bet?
All right.
He downs the rest of the first one.
Make a fortitude save. DC is
total,
10.
4 on the dice.
All right, perfect. All right, you don't feel drunk. Slight buzz.
You see, if that were the case, and if I can prove you right, I bet you I could walk out of here with her before her shift's over.
Now that is something that I have seen many men attempt. And a few dwarves. I would love to see that. You're on. But I have to say, if you do anything creepy, I will have to throw you out myself. Be a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
There you go. Let's go get a little bit of your old spark back, huh? And he kind of leans back against the bar. Go and get him, Tiger.
He grabs.
Maybe
He takes.
tilt the hat up a little bit. Let her see that pretty face of yours.
In due time.
It's like, don't let me tell you wrong. The mustache and the facial hair, lovely. Not really much. Like the person likes to look into the eyes of somebody who's courting them. You know, get to really see them.
All right, at least give me something.
Something for what? What would you like?
I know her favorite drink. What's her name?
Her name is Mai. All right. My turnips. Just realizing the joke in that name now, but I'm already in it, so we're gonna keep going. Just gonna keep on moving. Thank you, S, for giving us that name.
Generally got to assume that the names are hiding some kind of pun.
I try not to overthink it, because then funny moments like this happen, where Chuck is about to go flirt with my turnips.
Wade would love this. He hates turnips.
There you go.
I'm going to roll this for my own approach.
So we can do this one of two ways. You can go up and do a society check or some kind of charisma check. Let's see what.
Be diplomacy.
No, let me RP it first.
I was being like
I rolled my
diplomacy.
acrobatics for how fancily I navigate my way towards.
So I wanted to give you the option, because I've done this both ways. You can either roll, then commit to the roll and improv that scene, or do your best and then roll to see how it's received.
Ooh, I actually like the idea of rolling and then doing my best. That's fun. All right, so I think that's a society roll, right?
I feel like it would be a diplomacy.
A
Or-
diplomacy roll. That works.
For courting someone, yeah.
Society is more like connections and knowing people and finding
Networking.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, coming from Los Angeles, I mean, you probably have expertise in.
I'm good at both. Neither of them are expertise, but both.
So I will say, with a 26 acrobatics, you can saunter up as suavely as you like. And we could say it's at the end of her set. So she just does her last song and she's getting some tips from some, people who are coming up. Some other suitors are coming up and making like a little pass and being like, well, Mai, that was just a lovely song, Gosh, you're just so pretty. Like, just your voice just really makes the day for me, It's like this little gnome just walks up and he has like, his hands are kind of like nervous.
While he says that, he says, how does she appear to be reacting to him approaching and being nervous like this?
She is not overwhelmed. She is definitely somebody who is used to being talked to in a complimentary manner. She very much holds herself well. She has kind of this look of like, oh dear. She is probably around 5'10", 5'11", slender frame. She has an asymmetrical, very form-fitting black dress. The kind of one side stops around mid-thigh and goes down to the ankle. It's full sequins and a nice little clipped on tiny hat off to the side with this long silver purple hair with this like dark grayish skin for the dark elfin figure.
Chuck will approach with one of the drinks in hand and say, excuse me, Mai. You don't know me, but gentleman, very fancy, very knowledgeable, very considerate, decided to buy you this beverage.
Oh, and I'm assuming that kind, considerate,
No.
gentlemanly person is you.
No, the barkeep told me to deliver it to you.
Oh,
I'm new here.
Okay.
My apologies.
Well, this is definitely out of the ordinary. One moment, though. She leans down to the gnome next. She goes, thank you so much. I'm glad that I can be a part of your day. And she gives him a little gentle kiss on either side of the cheek. And he kind of gets a little fluttery and kind of stumbles away. And she goes back to you. Sorry. Right, you were being humble and considerate and gentlemanly. As she like takes the drink from the side and like sips on it and kind of stares at you, perfectly amused with this scenario.
Oh, you think I bought you the drink?
That or you're taking credit for it and seeing the advantage of coming up to me. Either way, clever.
No. A lady like you gets hit on more often than, I don't know, any other singer in this place, that's for damn sure.
Okay.
I'm just merely delivering a drink.
Well, then drink is incredibly appreciated. What can I do for you?
And appreciate the song. You have a very nice singing voice.
Thank you. It was my profession back in the day. But it's been nice to have a little place here that I can still get the energy out every now and then. And the tips aren't bad either.
Yeah. I'm sure you appreciate all the compliments too.
You know, after you receive so many, and again, oh, you have a lovely voice. Oh, it's a lovely song. Oh, it's lovely this. It starts to stop having that same feeling, you know? Like you get told that you have a great hat 30 times. You kind of expect it. You understand it.
Oh, my apologies.
Not that
My
it's
hat.
a bad thing. But
Yes. Well, it seems like you... Have you perhaps lost your ambition?
I am very curious about the point of this conversation. My ambition is doing quite well. I have a great crowd at a great place, and I'm doing what the best I can.
Nah, but wouldn't you want to go bigger?
Anybody would love to go bigger.
What's stopping you?
Huh.
You have the talent. You have the
I
ability.
guess it would be the opportunity.
But I guess nobody's giving you any criticisms?
Criticisms? Tyler,
Yeah.
bud, this negging thing, I don't know what's going on, bud.
I have no clue what I'm doing. You think I can flirt?
The chat, I'm like, is this flirting?
I'm expecting
I'm
some
like-
kind of twist at the end of this.
Yeah.
So,
Listen,
I find this entirely endearing, by the way. No one's really asked me, nobody's ever come up to me, offered me a drink, and then questioned my ambition before. To be quite frank, this is a unique conversation that I will remember.
and isn't that the key to everything? Making an impression.
I guess so, fancy hat man.
The name's Chuck.
Pleasure to meet you, Chuck. My name is Mai.
Yeah,
Are you
already knew
you new
that.
here? What brought you to town?
Listen, I'll cut to the chase. I made a bet with the barkeep,
Oh,
and it's a lot more than you'll probably make in tips.
you made a bet with Televiran to come and have a conversation with me. As she looks over, and Televiran is just like sitting at the bar and just like staring daggers right at, just like eyes wide and just nodding. Oh yeah, just like Maggie is right now. Well, he's won a lot of money doing this, and you are not the first person that he sent my way.
And how
I think
much?
it's about time he's lost.
I was gonna say, how much has he given you?
Never. It's a funny joke for sure, but it's not something that I like to participate in. But with the amount of money that he's made on my behalf, maybe it's time to lose him some.
Exactly. Now you see the ambition I was talking about.
Yes, the ambition to have a barkeep lose some money in a bet to pick me up.
Nah.
It's a glorious way to start a conversation. Definitely bold.
Needless to say, the bet was simply as if you'd walk out of here with me
Well,
before your shift was over.
my shift is about to end. And my place is around the corner if you would like to walk me to my door.
As any gentleman would.
Then let's lose the man some money.
Agreed.
She kind of like sticks her hand out, takes yours, and you guys start walking to the front.
He'll grab his hat and just simply nod to the barkeep and put it back on.
And he just goes, you can expect that if you ever come back, he'll pay you the amount of money.
Yeah.
So, you guys walk out. It's a little bit later. The sun is starting to set a little bit. It's like dipping into the horizon. It's kind of that red, purplish sky. Surprisingly enough, when the world goes terrible, like the sunsets, because the lack of like smog and everything, look really nice. Really just kind of pretty. You still hear music from different places around the corners, and so you have this like just time of strolling and conversation. So, Chuck from out of town, how long are you staying?
I'm merely catching the train.
That's
But in
quite
full
exciting.
honesty, I thought it'd be a lot more comforting to talk to somebody real than talk to a barkeep who hears stories all the time.
Just because somebody hears something a lot doesn't mean that they're tired of it. A storyteller can tell the same story 100 times and still be excited and the look on the people's faces when it's there first.
But a musician is the one that conveys the message and carries the tale and emotion that comes with it.
Of course, and that's why I love to do it. I've sang that song about the tear dozens, hundreds of times, but there is a nice feeling that comes with it, the somberness, and then the happiness after to represent kind of the emotional journey we've all been on over these last couple decades.
But what's your song?
Oh, that
What's
one
the
is
one
still
that
being
would
written.
be yours? Yeah.
I would like
What
it to
is
be.
it up to now?
We'll say it's at an intermission. Because ambition and opportunity have to meet for something to happen, and it's not like I'm in the position to make opportunity happen. Unfortunately.
Why not?
Yeah,
Is it not that everybody can choose their own adventure in life? Is this not a chosen career?
I would have to go elsewhere if I wanted to get bigger than I am now. Denver is a lovely place. Consistent work, but it's not the largest place. We're still only a decade old after rebuilding everything.
A place like Los Angeles, Chicago?
Now that would be definitely a place where I can find some opportunity. But Los Angeles isn't an easy place to get to, and Chicago's even harder.
It's easier than you might think.
Oh, to afford a train. I'm sorry I don't have a couple hundred gold available.
When you know the right people.
See, this is where the luck factor leaves the opportunity and ambition. If you know people and you have the talent, that's when opportunity arises. Otherwise, people like me who don't know.
Charles
little luck.
Spadina, at your service.
Well, Mr. Spadina, I'm going to see if she knows who you are. At 20. Well then, hello, Mr. Luck. Would you like to meet my opportunity?
This is not an exchange.
She kind of like has like a couple seconds of blanking of just like, now what is a person like you doing in Denver?
I have some business to attend to with friends, but just so happens that there's more to me than I even realized. And right now my heart is broken and is not in need of mending by another. But I saw talent, and I wondered if you were where you wanted to be, or if you wanted to go somewhere else. If you were
If you are
trapped
offering,
and stuck, or
if
if
you
you
are
wanted
offering to take me somewhere,
I'm offering you the opportunity to go somewhere where your skills would be more appreciated than they are. To reach
well,
greater ambitions, to sing your own songs instead of the tunes of another.
that would be entirely lovely. And how would I accomplish such things?
Chuck will reach into his pocket, pull out his business card with the number for his my assistant, whose name is Percy, and say, "This is my friend Percy.
Okay.
Tell him what I've told you,
Mm-hmm.
and say what it is your dream, and he'll try and help make it happen."
Am I making a deal with the devil right now?
No devils, no strings.
I didn't see any
attached.
crossroads where we came from, but this is oddly specific.
Just think of it as somebody who's heartbroken doing something kind for somebody who still has a heart to live out.
Well, lucky Chuck Spadina. I thank you for the opportunity. And
I thank
if you
for
find
the
yourself,
song.
of course. And she kind of opens the door. And if you find your way staying a little bit longer than one night in Denver, maybe. As she kind of like backs into the doorway,
I bid you good night.
walks upstairs, leaving the door open. You have a choice. You can close it.
He shuts the door and walks back to the bar.
As that happens, we see Chuck start walking back to the bar, and the camera pans away to see our other trio, or I guess quartet with Red, walking down the streets. What have you guys been up to?
I think as everyone is sort of walking along at a normal pace, including Red, Mintala is like constantly running ahead and then like wandering off and then coming back. Like he never goes 100 feet away because if he did, I think Red would immediately have to basically charge after Mintala in whatever direction he was. Brick walls be damned.
Just buzzing
but like,
along.
but like the place he's darting into, it's not like he's not like window shopping. He's not like popping into shops. He's popping into like alleyways and like weird random side paths and just like disappearing and then like coming back. Like at one point, like you can't like he darts down an alley and then as you walk by, he's like monkey bar swinging on one of those like fire escape ladders and like jumping up onto it and standing on it. And then like after they've walked by for a little bit, he pops out and catches up with them again and then runs off ahead. He's having a whale of a time.
There's one time where all of this is happening, and Kyoko, you get a feeling that you want to put your hand out and like have just like put your hand out. And you're like, this is interesting. You get this really strong feeling of wanting to hold yourself in like a cupped position.
Yeah, and I think Kyoko just stops for a moment and puts her hand out.
Then out of the gutter to your side, Mintala just boom shoots out, lands in your hand after being shot down a little rain gutter. So that's how like,
and as
Good
he
catch.
lands, find anything exciting? Or are you running away from something?
Cool places to go. I'm just exploring. It's interesting. It's so 3-dimensional.
and you suddenly want to turn the gutter to the right just a little bit so it's not pointed at you anymore.
She turns the gutter the other direction.
All of these pebbles come out as Red has been turning himself into smaller rocks to try to fit into the pipe, and he just slides out altogether, like all these bricks, and just,
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, nice.
I suppose that is like a slide.
Yeah, it's great
Oh,
when
it's
you're
like
this
a really
size.
good one.
yeah.
It's like can't grab things off of tables, but you can go through drain pipes.
She puts you like on Red's shoulder.
Suppose that is fun. Are you always this energetic? So you were inside Red this entire time.
Yeah, I was just like, and he like sits down on Red's shoulder and like curls up in a ball and turns his light on.
I feel like knowing you now with how you've been and his like gesture to everything you like turned into a playground, that must have been a struggle for you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, it was a constant battle between my need to run everywhere and do everything, and how fun it is to have a prank run for like a whole week. Nobody knew a thing. It's great.
Yeah, no,
It was a
I
pretty
didn't
good
really.
one. I think you had everyone fooled.
I thought I might have been rumbled when you coming out of the bathroom, but nobody seemed to twig. It was great.
I'm not one to really ask anyone, let alone an Earth Elemental, what they do in the bathroom.
I prefer to not have visions of anyone going to the restroom.
Yeah.
As you are having this conversation, you're walking towards, like, you guys are kind of making like a perimeter walk around town, and it's not the biggest place in the world. As you're walking, it's been like 45 minutes, and you see a park come into view on the far side. And there's like, on the far side, you can see a Denver Zoo. You see a nice kept, nice walking park area that has a little pond in the center, and it's very peaceful. See some birds flying around.
That's exactly what I was looking for. She kind of starts walking in that direction.
Wait up, and I will follow as well.
It's like on Red's shoulder. I'm like, that way.
You got it. As you're going through, it's just the gentle, like, pebble path with very nice, well-cut grass. As you see a ranger and a druid off in the corner, like making some hedges grow into an appropriate shape as like a ranger is like cutting it properly. They seem to be the people that maintain and take care of the park. There's a little like cave hut set up in the far side, so it seems to be where they stay, and like this is like the place that they just provide for the city. And you find a wonderful shaded area of these beautiful trees that have like a nice park with like a gazebo inside of it, and just beautiful scenic area.
I think Kyoko sits down, crosses her legs, and her tail's kind of furry around her, almost like peacock-esque. And she puts her hands like upward, like with her palms up, and closes her eyes.
Oh, you're meditating. I think like Azu kind of like stands there, just looks down at you and stands there kind of awkwardly, looking around and goes, I guess I can. Do you mind if I join? You don't have to talk if you can't talk while you're meditating. I'm gonna join you. And he just sits down beside Kyoko.
Once you're seated, Kyoko says, "I can talk."
Oh, okay. I never like meditated with other people, so I'm not sure if they have different procedures, rituals. I'm not sure.
Everyone does it their own way. I suppose some try to clear their mind of thoughts, while
As you
others
say that,
concentrate on
Red
specific.
next to you sits down really hard, just boof, and I want to do this too. Kind of like struggles to like pull his leg up. Just okay.
I climb up on top of his head and I sit cross-legged.
It's like a group meditation session.
It's adorable.
All right, so Kyoko, if you want to lead everybody in group meditation.
Sure. She just says, well, and others, they like to concentrate on something, a specific thought, whatever it might be. For me, I just like to try to find things, whatever fate brings me.
I also meditate. It kind of helps with the anger. For me, I just kind of focus on each part of my body. Almost like, I don't know, what would Chuck call it when you're testing the parts of your car, I guess. I just diagnostics. Just to make sure everything is working right. So I usually start with my fingertips and my toes and just kind of travel from there.
That makes sense. Our bodies, they interact with the earth in a different type of way. Like electricity flowing through.
Or literally. As you see, like, because of the meditation, Red has like started to like sink down into, and the earth himself has like to come up like a little bit to meet like halfway up of his legs, as like the earth seems to just react to his elemental form being there. Gets a little like sprout, bink. It just comes out of one corner that he plucks off.
Aww.
As Kyoko is trying to get into this meditative state, you hear the of train tracks going. You hear this chatter and conversation. You have this flash of like the sound of a train entering a tunnel. Chuck laughing. Just these odd feelings and thoughts.
And I know this is what we have to do. I wish there was another way.
Just these voices start hearing, and it's kind of like hard to pick these things out amidst the fog and the haze, but you've been doing it for so long that you're able to pick out small things and grab what you can and discern from that. Azuka, as you start to focus on each individualistic part of your body, start with your legs. As you come up to your hips, you feel like where the rest of your body, you can feel the nerves and you can feel yourself tingling and having that sensation of focusing on any part of your body. There's almost static from your tail. There's static from your arm, from the bits that go up the back of your neck. There's just all of this reverberance between the two, as if they are still fighting to be part of the same form. And I need you to make me a will save.
Oh boy. Okay.
We're gonna throw a rager in this park.
For many people, when they look inward, they get to find themselves. When Azuka looks inward, someone's looking back.
Oh, yeah,
22.
that's true. Dang.
22, that's a 13 on the die.
Okay. As this is happening, you have this calm moment of, oh, it's actually kind of nice to relax and move forward. And then you remember the firehouse and telling whatever it is that is inside you, the devil, to silence them in the fight that you guys had. And you get this like small bit of anxiety. It starts building. Because he hasn't said anything since.
I think I just try my best to savor the silence as best as I can.
With a 22, the static does fade. You actually have a moment of calm, and you feel you can relax. And it kind of feels nice to just be able to drift along in your thoughts and have this feeling of, as somebody with ADHD, I've never actually experienced a moment where my brain isn't trying to say something, so I can't really talk to this, but it must feel nice.
Oh, I think it's more of a, because I also have ADHD and I also have tried meditation.
Mhm.
And honestly, Maggie's right that it's kind of different for different people. Some people try to silence their mind. Some people just try to focus on a thing.
Mhm.
I think for Zuka, it's definitely the case of he can't silence his mind, but he like tries to just be focused on one thing, which is for him his individual like body part just is going through it.
Yeah, that works well. And as you see, like Azuka kind of like feeling this meditation, these little like there's a bit of the tiefling side, the monstrosity side of it kind of recedes a little bit. The nails get a little bit shorter, the scales get a little bit less pronounced, the tail gets a little bit thinner, and you see this kind of like recession of all of these things. As you clear your mind and focus, you find yourself slightly gaining control of how you are. When Izuka opens their eyes from the meditation and sees the regression, what's their first thought? What's their reaction to that?
I think probably surprise, because meditation has been a thing they've done. It's not like the first time they've done it. It is a thing they do to help with the anger. This is the first time they've done it knowing that where the anger, the source of the anger is now, knowing that it is a devil, but it's never come with these results of any kind of recession. It's more just like an emotional thing where he's able to control himself. I think there's a moment of surprise, and then immediately like, okay, squash that surprise because that might bring it back. I need to stay calm, feel calm, still nothing else, just focus on that calm again. And probably like testing out at the very least the tail, because he wants to feel like, is there a difference in how much he's able to control it now? Is it like disappearing? Is it becoming less of a thing? Was it becoming more of his? Is what he's trying to gauge.
You definitely feel like you have this, like, it's like an appendage. You're able to control and really be able to like move it like an arm would. Yeah. But you get this feeling that you could like pull it up, make it smaller, wrap it around your waist if you want to hide it, if you want to really work on it, if you want to focus really hard. It might take a couple of attempts of this meditation. You're just kind of gaining for the first time this feeling of control of this side of you.
Okay.
Does Kyoko have their eyes open watching Izuka while this is happening, or are you off doing everything else?
I think Kyoko is just trying to concentrate on the moment in her vision where these people are talking and someone's saying, I wish there was another way. She's trying to figure out, like, what does that mean?
Okay. Mintala, what is meditation like for you? Does it work?
I think it takes a minute to get there, but I think he does have a form of it where, like, you know, when he calms down, and I think here in the park, he's kind of out of his element, and in a way that helps to kind of chill for a sec. But I think that his sort of approach, it's less about calm, it's more about tuning into like sort of the ebb and flow of magic in the world is like something that he cares a lot about and feels. So like he's sort of like reaching out and listening to the city around him beyond the park and like how it's sort of changing and moving. And so it's kind of chaotic in its own way, but it's still a, you know, it's one channel tuning out the rest.
Okay. Being a pixie of the city, being a fairy of the city, it's, you have this feeling of like, you hear the birds, you hear the cars, you hear the pitter patter of hard-soled shoes on concrete, and you do feel at home with all of these sounds around you. You feel like the way the wind is redirected by the buildings. You feel the flow of this city, and if you had wings, you'd be able to arc your way through and get that feeling, and you actually have like this moment of breath and connection. Roll me a, I guess, what would this be? I hate that I have to like figure this out every time because I'm trying to make these thoughts.
We always make weird rolls. What is it? What are you trying to get to?
His connection with the city and nature. So I'm thinking just a nature check because for him, the city is nature.
Right.
Nature
There
or
is society as like
Yes,
the,
nature is
society, yeah.
society.
But this
Like
isn't
the-
this isn't the people, it's the stone,
Okay.
it's the brick.
right.
Yeah, that's nature.
I am not
Yeah.
good at nature. Let's see what happens.
Are you the one with the staff, or who got the staff? Did Kyoko
I've
get
got the staff, but it's a plus for identifying animals, I think, specifically, or something to
Okay.
do with animals.
Make a squirrel friend.
4. I rolled
I made a
3.
squirrel friend in Boston. Oh no.
Well, with the 4, you feel yourself getting into the vibe of the city, and you feel like that energy and the flow, and you feel like a ping of something way off in the distance, then like a honk of a car, like I'm saying, just like you just like get completely lost out of it, and you're back to that energetic like ADHD mindset.
I think there is like. I think there's a different thing that would kind of pull him out of it, which is he's kind of in this moment where like he's feeling the sort of the breathing of and the heartbeat of civilization around him, and then I think what cuts through is the sounds of the park, like just some like rustling leaves and like animal noises sort of like suddenly
Okay.
pierces through, and there's a moment where he gets a flash of this like imagined but never seen but glimpsed Fey world that he's meant to be in, that he's never seen.
Mhm.
And like this is what he knows, but it isn't who he was supposed to be, that kind of thing. And like
Yeah.
that thought just like jabs in, and then he's snapped out and he's gone.
I love it. So you all have this meditative session. You have all your moments. Red's just chilling, eyes closed. His eyes have actually like stopped glowing, and he's just fully into it. Would you guys like to talk with each other about your experiences, move on to something else?
Was Kyoko able to concentrate more on that? Element?
Make a roll for it. Let's see if we can get your future on the future roll.
Nice, nice. We paid him to say that. Which one would you like me to roll? Like
I
my
guess your fortune telling.
telling? Okay. See how it goes. 29. Whew.
Ooh. With a 29. What did you roll there?
Can I describe what she looks
19
like
on
when
the
that
die.
happens?
Go for it, yeah.
I feel like she's concentrating really hard, and probably anyone who has their eyes open, which is probably just Azuka as he's kind of playing with his tail. I don't know what's happening. Her tail starts kind of almost glowing with like this orange, not like flame, but magical flame. And she is like hovering lightly above the grass.
So you see this welling of energy, and this almost like woof, this. Let me see if I can do this right now. This kind of like sound of energy come up and well up, and you hear this vibration, this dissonance as Kyoko starts to like almost levitate and meditate off the ground. I guess with that, you'd hear a voice going,
We have to make sure that when this happens, Surgeon is taken care of. Rogue, you're going to be heading up the front. I will be taking the rear. Chief, stay with Surgeon. This cannot go wrong. This is the last time we get this chance.
I'll give you a full breakdown there. Get the full conversation. So you hear these synthetic voices. You see these automatons in a forest with a map out in front of them of the train. I hate that I have to give this away. With like pointing to it, and some of them look to be a little disheveled, like some armor pieces are a little sloppy. One is big and bulky, one is tall with a third arm coming off the side. There's another that has these knives sticking out of multiple different places, and one very like General Grievous looking guy. He's like standing up. He's got like the 3 taloned feet. They're going up, and he's kind of arching over the parchment. And it's just,
If we are able to do this, Then I believe that we can just leave, and nothing will happen, no one will be hurt. We must make sure we don't harm anyone.
And then after this welling and then gently lowered back to the ground, Kyoko returns to her body.
I think while you're levitating, I think as you lower, you kind of sit on something, realize it's my tail as I've been sweeping my tail underneath you to be like, what is happening?
Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Is it a trick?
And I'm like,
Um,
sorry, let me just pull myself out from underneath you.
Kyoko adjusts to let your tail out. Sorry, didn't mean to sit on your tail.
No, you're fine. It was actually, that was very cool. Does that happen often? Can you fly? Is that a thing you can do?
Does what happen often?
You were like
Even-
floating.
Yeah.
She kind of looks at you both quizzically. Well, if I have done it before, I didn't know it.
Well, you did it today, which is cool. Did something happen? Did you have a vision? I'm guessing that's like your vision float.
I had a few visions, but one in particular that, well, it was less of a vision and more of a hearing.
You did see the automatons in the forest.
Yeah,
looking at
but
them.
she's talking about like the first initial.
Fair.
But yeah. And then I tried to hunt it down. Sometimes it just causes more distraction or confusion. But I think this one might be something more.
Do you want to roll your lucky number?
Yeah, I'll roll my lucky number. Let's see what lucky number is. Technically, I'm
Replace
supposed
that
to
7. I'm gonna
Start
say
over.
with this, you got like in tune with everything, and so you get another one.
13.
All right. So we'll
What'd
say
you
until you
do?
go to bed, you can do 7 and 13. Because 7 was the last one you rolled. I like to think that you were so in tune that you got another little glimpse. You got another little lucky number there.
Oh, I see.
Is there anything we need to worry about, or just don't cross the road at this time kind of deal?
Well, I think this train ride is gonna be more adventurous than we had thought.
Good adventurous or bad adventurous?
I'm not sure at the moment, but suppose I can share with you what I know, and maybe you all can be on the lookout just as much as I am.
So
What did you
as
see?
Kyoko is filling you in on everything, the sun kind of dips under the horizon, and you hear this loudspeaker go, bing, it's time for a guard change. And as that happens, you see all the humans kind of have on the walls just have this like sigh of relief, and the elves and the dwarves and the gnomes like kind of start walking in as you see dark elves start getting ready, like they're getting ready for their day, and they go up onto the walls. And you see that they found this balance of those who live at night and those who live at day to keep a constant guard
That's
on the
cool.
city.
Yeah.
I like that.
And this is just happening as you guys are having this conversation.
Yeah, so Kyoko fills you in on the automatons that she saw and like verbatim the words that they said.
So it sounds like they're going to attack the train, but not kill anybody. But they are going to attack the train.
Yeah.
But the real question is, what do they want that's on the train?
Could be a
don't
thing.
know.
Could be a person. Could be money.
mean,
Exactly. Could
if
be
they're
all of
not
the above.
coming, it's not hurting anyone. Maybe you can just leave it to the law enforcement. You can just, I don't know, find a place to hold up for a bit while that all goes down.
I could warn them that something's coming.
We could. But here's the thing. Law enforcement don't always like my type.
Yes, but they seem. Well, everyone here seems a bit more welcoming to people. At least here.
The reason being is that sometimes our visions are completely wrong.
Oh, okay.
Other times, they're literally about doors, apparently.
Well, we can warn them
I-
that something might happen.
That feels very vague, and I feel like that might actually, like, criminalize us. It honestly kind of sounds like a threat.
Exactly. Sometimes it can be. It's never a good thing, no matter which way I try. I started doing things that way when I first came to y'all's world. But I suppose that was a different time. Maybe people are a little bit more acclimated to magic these days.
So, as this conversation happens and you guys start to be talking about what you're going to be doing, let's pop on back to Chuck. What's happening? Where have you gone after
Lucky
leaving
Chuck.
May? Muted. Still muted.
He's heading back to the bar. He's got to collect his winnings and talk to the barkeep.
All right. So you walk back in. This time, the bar is actually an entirely different group of people. You see dwarves and gnomes and humans getting boisterous and rowdy, going all different, like just having a wonderful time. Is now they are off their shift of the watch. You
My
still see the
barkeep's
same.
still there, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Don't worry. Telever and the half elf is still back there.
I'll walk Mosey back to my seat that I imagine he held for me because
Mm-hmm.
the bet.
Oh yeah. And he just, as you walk up, he just puts the money down in front of him. He just goes, he said, "Oh, that was actually damn impressive."
It helps when you know the right people and have been around for years and years longer than you look.
Hey, I'm not one to question how you do your thing you do, but it's impressive, friend. Many have tried. Many have failed. Few have succeeded, but not for long.
So you say.
So I do.
I have a feeling that she might want to follow me to where I'm going. He gives a
Oh,
sly
really?
smirk.
If you convince her to leave Denver, and I get to stop hearing that every day, I'm gonna find you myself, friend. Gonna be honest, because if I lose my entertainment, then I don't know what I'm gonna be doing here. We're gonna have to find somebody else to take her place. That's not gonna be fun.
I feel like you can manage though. There's plenty of dwarves and gnomes and
Do you think you want a dwarf going up in there and singing songs of somber time? All they do is go up and singing, "Oh, dig a hole, oh, we dig a mine, we mine, and then we dig the holes, we mine and dig the holes." Like this, it's not really something you want to have for like a nice little thing. Yeah, it's great, but they also like stomp around a lot. It's a lot.
regardless. I'll let you keep your bet. If you at least tell me about the town and get some information about different stories you've heard, different passerbyers. Barkeeps are good about that.
I mean, I'm an open book if you want to ask me any questions. You seem like a kind person, so what you want?
Any shady type come around these parts recently, looking for
We're
anybody?
a passerby town on the way to a lot of different places. We get all types. You get mercenaries, you get bounty hunters. You get the nice folk like yourself.
What about devils or demons?
I don't see many devils around here. To be honest, it's not like they really go around hunting people. It's pretty famous what Churchill did, but,
What about the organized crime type?
the organized crime, it's kind of like all built into one here. To be honest, it's since we have such consistency going on, like we have people working at nights, people working at the day, there's not a lot of time for really the seedy types to have their moments alone. Surprisingly, everything's kind of above board. You know, there's not many laws in Denver. It's really just like, don't be an asshole. Do what you can. Don't ruin this for everyone. You know? But I mean,
Makes sense.
yeah. Even if we see a devil here, it's not like they can hurt us. We got tieflings walking around all over the place. Yeah, devils don't go after people. You know that, right?
What do they go after?
There was the... It's like really big. Like there was a... I don't know if this news ever reached Los Angeles, I guess, but right after the terror happened, the devils wanted to have a conversation with like a leader of the humans. And they brought Churchill down to actually go and talk to him. Churchill made the deal that the devils can hunt... Okay, the story goes, when the terror happened, Asmodeus wanted to have a conversation with the new group of people that had come to existence for them, the humans. So they found one of the people that a lot of you followed at the time. That was Churchill. So they brought Churchill down the hill. There, they had a conversation about what is going to happen. Because devils, although evil, they do follow a code of laws. All right? Without the proper reasoning, they couldn't hunt here. But demons could. Devils couldn't lose any spots to the demons. So Churchill made a deal that the devils will keep the demons at bay if the devils are allowed to hunt a very specific section of humanity. All right? Churchill, being the wise man that he was, knew that Asmodeus didn't have any inclination of what types of people there were in the world. And at this time, it was right after the end of your big war that all of you'd like to fight. So he said, all right, you can if you defend us against the demons, we'll allow you to hunt a very specific one of us, people that we, very strong section of humanity, the Nazis. So then, through that, the devils will hunt Nazis and then defend us against the demons. Churchill, in fact, tricked Asmodeus because Asmodeus was used to dealing with peasants and farmers, not ones who had been dealing with law their entire life. And that is where Asmodeus found that doing deals with humans was very tricky. So he watches out for you guys now. So the Churchill Treaty keeps devils away from humans, like forever. And if anyone was to really go up against that, man, they'd have to fight Asmodeus himself. That's complete rebellion.
Interesting.
How did you guys not know that? That's weird.
I'm too busy with other stuff.
I mean,
I don't
it makes-
exactly commune with devils or talk to devil folk.
I mean, it's fair. It would make sense though. Los Angeles is a little bit more hoity-toity about like humanity. So like, we get it. But, here, the parents of some of the tieflings do tell tales. Yeah. Other than that, we get some demon raids every now and then, but usually it's out at night in Dark Shard, the Dark Shards, our little dark elf hunters that we have. Love to run out and do their sweeps. We got our humans that take care of every stuff during the day. The dwarves take care of the mines. You got the best of both worlds. It's actually very symbolic when you look at it. Denver in and of itself is the perfect combination of two different things. Golden, silver, Denver. We have the best of both worlds working for us. We're very happy here. It works well. We found balance.
I hope it stays that way.
Me too, mate. This has been working well for a lot of people.
Well, I think I should be meeting back with my group. Appreciate the
yours.
conversation. in the bet.
Hey, anytime there, Lucky Chuck. Hope you have a fun rest of your night.
Yeah, and consider that a down payment for you to find new talent in case your singer goes on new adventures.
Look, if you don't want the money, I'll be happy to keep it here. Don't get me wrong. But if you guys find yourself wanting a drink, there we go. You know where to find me.
What's your name?
My name is Televerin. I told you earlier. Weren't you paying attention? Or are you too like up inside your own hat to hear it? Maybe like tilt it back a little bit. It blocks the sound from getting to your ears.
He
Or it gets
takes
caught
off his
in all
hat
of that
and
hair of
says,
yours. Jesus. You kind of like shuffles your hair a little bit. It's like, oh my God, even sound would get trapped in this thing. Gotta wash that. You have a
Name's
great night,
Charles.
friend. Charles.
Charles Spadina. Good night.
Charles Spadina. Nice shit.
And he
All right,
walks
well,
out.
Roll for knowledge. Roll to see if he knows who Charles Sabina is.
Let's do it.
We need a roll for Charles.
19.
Roll for Sabina.
All right, if you're Charles Spadina, dropping 10 gold right here. Gee, if you wanted to leave like an actual tip, I do need a new sign and maybe some delivery trucks in the back. Just saying there, Charles. If you want to be friends.
As he starts shouting, while he's shouting, Charles just turns around and does this. And then walks out.
Maybe next time, Charles. All right, so you walk back out into the street. Where did you guys go after your meditation?
Probably head back to find Chuck. What do you guys think?
We're like meandering back in that direction because we're like, we should probably tell Chuck that like we might get attacked by automatons on
I'm
a
not
train.
drunk at all.
Yeah. I'd imagine we like had a meeting spot, or maybe it's where we split off. We just meet back there.
Or maybe we have a place that we're gonna stay, like a hotel.
Yeah, there are plenty of hotels. You find some of the bars will have hotels above them. Let's see. No, I wrote one in here. I really should bookmark this stuff.
Did you
All
guys want to talk about anything on the way back to Chuck?
Yeah, I don't want to deprive you
I
guys of
didn't
that.
know if anyone had something in particular.
Yeah, I think I'd bring it up. As we're walking, I haven't heard the devil speak for a while now.
Is that abnormal? Do you normally hear voices inside your head?
Before everything that went down at the delicious sunrise, no, I hadn't heard anything. And then those people attacked, and some sort of energy arced from one of them to me and threw me into some space where I was able to speak to the devil. And since then, the devil would chime up every so often, and I think for the most part just try to get me angry. I've been
Well, they don't
pretty
just
good.
hop into people. See, they kind of have their own laws about things of that sort. You didn't happen to make a deal with one of them, did you? And be very specific about what you agreed upon.
No, yeah, I told you all. I made a deal with them to give me the power to protect my family.
And what do they get in return?
I don't know.
No, that doesn't seem good. Or maybe it is good, because if he didn't tell you what he gets, then maybe he doesn't get anything.
Unfortunately, that's not really how it works.
Maybe giving you the power was already kind of a reward for him.
Maybe. But when I had told all of you this in the fire station, he tried to silence me, stop me from speaking. But I honestly, I'm not entirely sure how, but I managed to stop that from happening and apparently stopped him from speaking, at least for a while. I haven't heard him since then, which has been nice. I'll be honest, it has been nice. I forgot how nice it was just to have my own thoughts and voice in my head.
Suppose
But
that's
it's
why you
just
didn't want to hear
interesting.
me talking in your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry
I'm not
about that.
used to that. You
It's
didn't
unfortunately
know.
the only way I can talk whenever I'm in that form.
Yeah. No, you don't need to apologize. You didn't know I made a deal with a devil and he was living in my head, so you didn't know any better.
Well, you must have a strong will if you can push through that. That must be why he chose you. Or they chose you.
Yeah, I haven't thought to ask for their pronouns. I've just been assuming it's a he. Probably should ask. Yeah, no, I just thought I'd let you know, since this whole thing now deeply involves all of you. I figured I'd keep you all updated. I won't make it too granular with the updates. I won't tell you what his favorite food is or anything like that, but I thought him suddenly not talking was something you probably would want to know about.
Seems
Well,
like a good
maybe
sign.
he's stewing. And when that happens, things usually boil over, so I'll be careful.
As you say that, you guys have a round at the last corner and you're kind of making your way around the outskirts of the town, and you do see Chuck leaving the bar.
And as we're turning around the corner, Kyoko just kind of looks very deeply in your eyes, Azuka, and says, if something happens, if he says something that you need help with, just let me know.
When you look really deep into Azuka's eyes, roll me your fortune telling. I want to see something.
Oh God, no.
Oh no.
Oh, 14. That's
Yeah.
low for me.
The only thing you hear is just this ringing in your ears, and then just
The strings are not on me.
and you have that like reverberance, that echo. And for the first time, you hear the voice in your head. As you hear a bit of what Azuka had dealt with.
I think her look was a first of like a look of like I will protect you, and then a look of concern.
Mintala, oblivious, is like, well, it sounds to me like the episode that got started in the diner is ended now. Maybe with the Roland thing. So maybe you're in the clear. For now.
Maybe. I honestly hope so.
I very much doubt it, she says almost confidently.
Hey,
Well,
Chuck.
When you doubt things, I
Chuck
doubt
from-
things too.
As Azuka calls out for Chuck, Kyoko, you really want to close the gate that's next to you. Like somebody left the gate to a door open up or something like that.
Kyoko kind of leaves the rest of you and closes the gate.
As that happens, Red just goes,
Oh, hey, Chuck.
like, and just goes crazy and like kind of took a step forward and trips and fell where the gate was and kind of like just goes, oh, sorry. And he would have completely destroyed the gate if you hadn't done that.
You mean the gate would have become one with him?
Yeah. Yeah.
He would have taken the gate.
Ripped off, gone into like an arm sleeve. What a great. So you guys all walk together, go up, and here you are. There are a couple of hotels that you can choose from. The ones that you saw as you were walking around was a nicer one called the Redwood Hotel, and then a smaller one kind of off to the side called the Hiker's Haven.
We're rich
Not as
now,
nice.
So
Well, where y'all wanted to stay tonight?
I mean, you have a whole collection of gold in your bag, so why don't we go for a nicer one?
Yeah, let's go big.
Sounds good. Living it up, I suppose. What do you think, Chuck?
I think we should go for the less expensive one.
What?
Why is that?
Actually, Chuck, make me a roll. Let's see if you have a place
Society?
here. Yeah.
Oh, if
Uh,
I have a place here.
A flat
What would
roll,
that be?
flat D20. So we decided that before all of this,
That's
Chuck
right.
had multiple places and multiple areas, and Chuck, when he goes to a new place, can roll to see if he has a stash house.
Dang!
You
That's
definitely
a
do.
19.
If you would like to share that information, yes or no, but you do.
He's gonna say, "Let's go for the cheap one, for
Why
it's
is
a
that?
decoy."
So we pay for the
Oh.
cheap one.
I have a place here.
Oh,
Is it
I see.
nice?
that's good, because I was going to have to de-summon Red if we were actually staying in a hotel, because I don't want to know the amount of trouble I'd get into if there was rubble all the way up to the room and all over the room. But if it's yours, then it's fine.
I haven't been to it in years, so it's probably a little dusty, but
Perfect. You won't even notice the
can't really
difference.
tell you how nice it is.
With a 19 out of 20, it is very nice.
Well then, I suppose we'll pay for decoy. She kind of looks at you questioningly. Did you get yourself into some trouble while we were out?
Aside from announcing that I'm in Denver, that's the only trouble.
Well, people know you, you know.
Yeah. There are pluses and minuses to that.
I suppose. Well, hopefully no
But
one's
when you
looking
tell a
for
barkeep, this whole town will know eventually.
Exactly. So my worry is less about you. I'm sure you can handle yourself. More about the companions you have along with you. And she's kind of looking at Azuka.
You can say it's me. I'm fully aware it's me. Yeah. I guess we can go with the decoy thing, and I could use this and like show the ring, so that no one
That's a good
sees me
idea.
leaving. I suppose.
I like that.
Well, my thought is simply the fact that maybe saying that I'm here will bring people out of the woodwork.
I have
And
some
then
things
we'd
to
know
share with
what's
you as
coming.
well that you might be interested in, but something we should talk about in your place.
Chuck gives a sly smirk.
She's unsure about why you're making a sly smirk.
He just goes, "All right. I guess that makes sense."
By the way, with a 19 out of 20, I'm going to let you design entirely what your place is. Free reign. Consider it a magnificent mansion of sorts. Consider it whatever you would like it to be, but make it like probably a penthouse of some kind. It could be a house, could be a penthouse, could be an apartment, up to you.
My thought is it's of dwarven build, since the dwarves mine here.
Okay.
It's probably a place that's near the mines that is a nice place, adorned with plenty of like fancier stone, and is one that he'd stay in when he was traveling to check in on the mining of metals for his armament company.
Hoover plated everything.
Oh, yeah.
How much is
right.
our decoy payment? And do we need to...
How many
Does
rooms are
Azuka-
you getting?
Azuka have to roll like a stealth or something? I guess we'll get 4 rooms unless people want to share rooms.
I think we only need one, just under Charles Spadina.
Just want everyone to share a room? Sure, we could do
Well,
that.
it's a decoy. Is basically you only need one room, and if they're looking for Charles, they're looking for Charles.
All right.
So,
That was
who's going
kind
to
of
the
my
hotel?
The guy checking in.
All right. Is everybody with you, or is it just you?
I was
I
thinking
mean-
everybody was with you, but we could
I was
do
thinking
that
too.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
we could-
everyone can come too.
We
That's
can
fine.
make a
Yeah, I think
big
makes sense.
show of going in and then not show of leaving and going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stealthily leaving.
Mhm.
That works.
So
I warn
You-
you, some of us might not be that stealthy. So
you walk into the place known as the Hiker's Haven. It has this like really oak wood exterior, very cabin-esque. It's not the worst place in the world, but it's not also the best place in the world. It's kind of like a cabin in Big Bear that's like not one of the nicer ones. As you walk in, there is a vested, like a green vest wearing person behind a desk that has this big bushy mustache, relatively tallish. Goes, "Oh, hi dilly ho there. How you doing?"
Doing well, just in from the road.
"Oh, well, nice to meet you, sir. My name's Steve. That's Steve with the B, but how you doing?"
I'm good. My name's Charles Spadina.
"Oh, nice to meet you, Charles Spadina." Rolling for that. 12. This person wouldn't know. "Oh, there. Mr. Spadina, this will be a lovely time to have you here. What can I get for you? You checking in, or you just kind of checking the place out? Either way is fine. No pressure. Don't want to be pushing you either way."
Well, one room, please.
And it is the all of you there, right?
Yep.
yeah.
It's like, oh, one room for the lot of you, but I don't judge. I'm just gonna be pop you over here. We got a big old room in 7. It's got a couple beds, or maybe less. You can push them together. I don't know. I don't know your situation. Not gonna judge you. So here's the key for it. It's going to be about 7 silver for the night.
Kyoko will hand over 7 silver.
All right. Well, here you go. It gives you the key. If you like to, there's a bathroom in there, and there's a little bit of a laundry down the way if you'd like to get that done. Also, my wonderful wife is going to be having a nice little continental in the morning. Couple of
Sounds
wonderful
delicious.
bagels. Fantastic. Well, if you need anything, I'll be out here. Just remember, Steve with the B.
Sorry. I
I
love
love
this
Thank you,
character.
Living TNT, for prompting that.
I recognize that one immediately. That is our oldest unused name because nobody wanted to use.
Oh, I
Speed.
took that as a challenge.
No, I love it. It's so good.
That's
Love
good.
it.
It finally found its place.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
We'll like walk in, I guess, and then stealth out.
How do you guys want to do this?
Yeah,
You got
I think
Speeve up front watching the front door. There
Tell-
is like a window going out the back that you could do. Yeah.
Sounds
I
like,
would like
I got this
to-
part of this covered. I'm not going to be a problem at all. And I desummon Red, so just into nothing.
Goodbye.
And then I'm like, all right, whose pocket?
You can cop into mine.
Right, and then I just hop up and bloop into like a
There you go.
jacket pocket and just like curl up in there. You see me like poking my head over the edge.
Mm,
No one will know.
And
Do the
I will-
windows open?
they do.
Kyoko
They
will
are-
transform into her foxy form and jump out the window.
Apparently, according to everybody's reaction, you're always in a foxy form. So I guess.
How does the fox? I have a question.
Sure.
It is
Um,
bone sickening when she transforms. We've discussed this. It does like break down.
I
Yeah.
feel like Mintala should come with me because I'm an experienced smuggler.
I mean, if Matala wants to.
Or
Whatever
the
works.
fox. I don't know how big the fox is, but I don't
imagine the
know.
fox
This
is
is a
fox
question
size.
for the GM because it's a small item.
I mean, they are a tiny individual. But
Like,
I'm
ju-
assuming this is more of a question for Mentala than me of what's
Is it-
going on here.
No, this
does-
is a question if Kyoko in
I'm
fox form
still-
would qualify as small.
I'm still medium. I'm
Aw,
still a medium
dang.
type.
You are on the smaller side of medium, but I think that's mostly because of the tails.
Yeah.
Do you
'Cause I
offer
don't think, I
to
think
smuggle
foxes are
Mintala?
small or medium.
Yeah,
Foxes
they'll
are actually
simply
pretty
say,
tiny things.
well,
No, but
Depends on the
Mintala,
fox.
Yeah.
I'm able to
I- I
sneak
mean-
guns in and out of things. Perhaps I can make sure that you're easily snuck out.
I meant in Pathfinder, I think they are medium creatures. boxes are. But
Sure,
yes, in
sounds
real
like a
life.
plan.
I mean, if
like,
we would like, we can make some sort of check to see if you can like curl up, maybe like a little acrobatics kind of like see how small you can make yourself. But condensing that many tails down is going to be something.
Yeah. I'm fine with jumping out the window too, if Mentala wants to be smuggled.
Once invited, Mattel like pops back out of the pocket and like activates the shoes and just walks over to Chuck. And before Chuck like gives the direction, I am totally going to jump up onto his shoulder and then lift his hat and climb up under there and put it back down.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's totally in here.
It is also unnaturally dark in there. Like there's like times where like maybe like light can get through the hat, but it is perfectly pitch black. Like somebody cast darkness on you. The shadows cling to the inside of this magical hat.
Yep, Mattel's like just thinks it's a normal hat. Probably there's some weird stuff going on with Chuck, but who knows what it's apparently. So he just climbs in this hat. It's inside the magical hat of transformation. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just activate the mist form mask.
That is lovely. Because I don't think it turns you into mist. It surrounds you with it, right? Like
I don't know.
That's how I understand it. Yeah.
Okay.
It
My
gives me
thought
a silver
is
mask, so you can't see my face, and then surrounds my body in mist, is what you said.
Yes. See, I need to make sure that this is actually how it's said now because of the way you want to use it.
Listen,
Disguise.
I have an idea. I have an idea to explain the mist. It's fine.
Okay.
Are you farting?
No. Chuck is gonna run the
Okay.
shower.
So how this works is a faint mist emanates from your skin, making you concealed for the listed duration. This one's a minute. So you are a walking smoke grenade of mist.
So it doesn't cover my face. I don't have a.
It covers
mask.
all of you. You have the
Okay.
mask, but you are also emanating this mist from everywhere as this very seeable, but it's hard to discern where you are within that mist.
Okay.
So if you're
In that
like
case, I'll just
walking,
stealth
if you're
out.
trying to stealth across the street, being a giant cloud of mist might not be the best thing that you're thinking
Yeah.
of. Like in combat, walking down a dark alley, if you don't want them to see you or know what you look like or anything like that, if you want a ranged person to not have a really hard time seeing you or having like a melee combat if somebody's trying to attack you, it really helps to be concealed. This is
I'll
an
just stealth out
interesting
the
use.
window with Kyoko then.
I will say we can give you a little bit of control with it, where you can like, if it's like super misty or if it's just your form. I kind of like that. So
I'm not.
how much mist are you producing in this moment?
Okay.
Hold on. I have an idea.
How
Let
much
me do this
persuasion do you want to have?
Yeah, according to Chuck,
All
how
right,
much
I got
hot water do you leave on? You know,
11 plus 8 for 19 for engineering lore. I want to find a pipe that can create a lot of steam that can make it hide Azuka in the sense of being able to navigate a pathway outside. So it's less noticeable when weird mist starts floating away in a direction.
so you want to find a steam pipe outside, not inside the room, to
What?
break it, to fill an alleyway with steam.
I will
As a
just stealth
stealthy
out. I have
diversion.
pretty good stealth. I'll stealth out.
I'm like, what?
Yes, it's very stealthy, okay?
Everywhere else is quiet. No one's looking at you. Boom. Steam everywhere. Oh, that's usual. Just like they're just gonna look away.
I will stealth out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stealth out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
if you
that's all
want
I'm
to
doing.
put, I will say if you want to put on the mask and have it not do mist, you won't use it, but you can take and put off the mask at will, but it takes a conscious activation of the mist. So you can hide your face if you would like.
Yeah, I'll hide my face and stealth out.
Cool.
All right.
So as the ring passes across your face, it actually fades from your hand, hits, and then forms over to create this perfectly like, just like a two-sided, whereas normally it's like a mask that has like that line down the middle, but just then like featureless. And then you see these like the color of your energy, like your red arcana, starts to bleed through the eyes, and you have these little faint glowing eyes. You can see through it perfectly too. Like it's like nothing's even there for you. You can breathe fine, no hindrance at all.
Awesome. Okay. I'll roll stealth.
Yeah, re-stealthing.
Beautiful.
26.
Well, I'm gonna let you know,
60
I'm
on the die.
probably not going to roll a 26. Team window? Ooh,
Oh.
not
We're
good.
making this. This is
You
going to
know
be a
what?
group check.
I'm gonna take the 13.
Okay.
Ooh.
Remember, you
Wait.
guys do have hero points
That'd
if you would
make a
like to
14
re-roll.
total.
If you want to re-roll a 20, I think Kyoko has
I
2
have
hero
2.
points now. Chuck
I
doesn't,
don't
but
think
I
this is
like.
a heroic moment for
You
me.
you gave me
Okay.
one last episode.
But I give them to you
It-
during heroic moments so that you can use them for anything else. I want to be able to
Normally
freely
they
give these to
do
you guys.
reset to 1 each at the start of a new session. But I
Session.
mean, you house rule it, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think with this being like the campaign as short as it is, I don't want it to be something of like, oh, you have to do it every time, you know?
You did give me a hero point. I just never put it on my sheet.
Gotcha.
Add it to the top right of your sheet.
All right.
Yeah, I just.
So
did.
this is a group check. Azuka's doing very well to make sure that we don't do this. Maybe helping Kyoko guide through.
I think what happens with Kyoko is she sees like a vision of her like jumping down from the window and hitting like some kind of crate that's at the bottom and it makes noise. So
Mhm.
instead like she kind of twitches in time to like not jump on the box and she jumps to the side instead. And that's how
Okay.
she gets the 13.
Fair. Totally
Really?
here for that. So what is your stealth score? +1. So you have a 14.
Yeah, not good.
Hey, it's not terrible.
Oh
I
yeah,
have a
it's
question.
14.
Yeah.
I have a question because
Sure.
I'm using experienced smuggler. But I'm smuggling Mentalis, and Mentalis' role is actually exactly what it would have been.
Beautiful.
I am a hat.
So, as a group, you are very stealthful. Some better than others, of course, but you can help each other as a group get there.
I rolled an 8 for a 17 total. Chat.
I rolled an 11, and whatever modifiers I add to that is going to be interesting. So, back next to the city park, where the old city park golf course was, the dwarves have taken to establishing themselves in that area. They have these large cobblestone, brick, concrete structures. You see, like, as time went on and as the dwarves were here longer, at the beginning, they had just thrown together every little bit of rock material they can do. So you have these, like, really cobbled together houses. And then as they get used to this world, they get much, much nicer. You get these, like, towards the end were the nicest of them all. It's almost like obelisk style buildings out of pure rock. Like the large ones were taken, like carved together to be there. And there's really nice apartment buildings. These little glowing topaz lanterns that light the way inside of this dwarven sector. So it's a little bit more magical, a little bit more medieval, because it's a little bit more old world. So Kyoko would actually recognize a little bit of this. So like the dwarves actually did bring a little bit of the old world with them, having these arcane lights and the way this entire section was developed. Chuck, you want to bring them up to your apartment? Go and tell them if it's a mid-level, is it a penthouse? What does it look like? All up to you, bud.
It's its own building.
Okay.
As you get towards the end of the street, there's an old mine shaft that is no longer used. And to the side of it, there's this moderately sized, not overly large, but pretty elaborate building. The base of it is carved from stone, and the rest built on top of it is placed stone. It's fine, simple work. But the door is adorned with gold. Just gold, like inscription and handles and stuff like that. And Chuck walks up to it. It's like, where did I put the key? Where did I hide the key? That's right.
So I actually have something for this if you would like.
Sure.
You walk up to it, and as you have with your hideouts, there's always, it's kind of like a puzzle door. So you go up and you pull one section of the golden filigree aside. It has a button that you press and something shifts. You turn it to a certain degree, push it in. Another section pops out. You take it, turn it like 3/4 of the way, push it back in, and then another small little piece of stone pops out to the side, and there's a little key. You muted Maggie.
Yeah.
Maggie, you're muted.
Sorry, I had to like unmute myself. I was like, could I actually have like figured this out and then be like, no, let me, and she does it? Because it'd be funny.
I love that.
Sure. Like
With
you
the-
walk up.
Because I can like get an impression,
Okay.
like a second impression of the door, and maybe like see how he did it before when he's like,
So-
where did I put the key?
We just rewind back. So what you actually saw was the previous Chuck doing everything. As you touch the door and you see all the different ways, you see him talking to the dwarves as it's there. You see Percy walking up like, yes, this is me entirely 5-star. Going up to the next thing, you see the house being built in its entirety. And you know how to get in. So as Chuck like walks up to go and start to get the key, you stop him.
Keiko's like, mind if I try my hand at this?
I suppose. I don't know how you'd know the pattern and
She just
go
winks.
for it.
She winks. She gives you a wink. And she says, I have my ways. And then she does what you would have done.
There's a little bit of hesitation as she goes to do things because it is not like muscle memory. It is her discovering how to do this along the way. So there's like, go, move. Okay, yeah, I was that way. And then like she's following this thing, almost watching someone else do it and remembering how to do it. And it pops out and she has the key.
She hands it to you.
I guess I'll have to call Percy to say we need to change this. He'll unlock the door and say, all right, come on in.
You get
Although
brought in.
Kyoko may have been here before, maybe.
I've never been here before, but you have.
So you get brought into a lovely building that has, again, like this opening that looks like it would be any other, like a basement of an apartment section where it would just be like all of the mailboxes for everybody that could possibly live there, like a front desk for somebody, but it's just covered in dust, spider webs, like nobody's been here.
And she says, as we're walking in, sometimes things have memories too.
Are you saying Red actually has a brain in there?
Well, that's just rude.
He's got something.
Thinking established that was brick.
I think I know what it's like hearing voices in your head now with Mentala in my hat.
I mean, it's like, there's something over there.
And Chuck will take off his hat so Mentala can get out.
I emerge from total darkness like, ooh, we're here.
So as you guys open up the door, the inside actually lights up with these little crystals, like the dwarven stuff you would see outside. You get these little faint light go up. There's a little staircase off to the side and like a full industrial elevator on the right hand side that the dwarves would use to like take materials up. They just kind of left it there because, you know, it's a very functional elevator. And you have, what would you say, 3 floors of rooms at your service? Or how would you like to create this structure?
I mean, I would say like almost the majority of the first floor is like dwarven sized rooms. For those that were working on the building itself and working in the mine outside and everything else, he took care of all of the accommodations for them. And so as you went up, the rooms were bigger and meant more for larger people. So basically, the first floor is all dwarven-sized rooms. The second floor is probably could be either, and then the top floor is like there's like 2 rooms. One would have been Percy's and one would have been Chuck's. Or at least that's what you would think it was Percy's room.
I call dibs. I want to take the one I think is Chuck's room.
Nice.
Here for it.
Living it up.
It's fair.
think-
It's the most secure one, and you're the one being sought after. I guess that makes sense.
That is exactly why I chose it. As I go into the room.
Each room does have full kitchen, full rooms, beds, assortment of kind of stale. Like there's some just expired food, but then there's other stuff that would be like the stuff that doesn't expire. Like maybe, I guess it would be like MREs or stuff that lasted like 20 years. But then
Canned goods tend to last.
Canned
pretty
goods.
well.
Yeah.
You got a Twinkie in there. There's a box of Twinkies.
There you go.
Gross.
I have never had a Twinkie, so I don't know what those even
They
taste
are-
like.
It's
They are
like
perfectly
good.
adequate.
pastry with cream in it.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they're a
Like
thing.
a
in the
Very,
UK.
Yeah,
Very-
they're
very
oddly,
chemical.
Yeah. They're oddly
They
shiny.
might not be allowed in the UK, knowing
They might just
America.
be
I don't
afterwards.
think they
That
are.
would make sense.
A lot
definitely-
of Hostess products aren't.
They're definitely full of preservatives.
Yes.
Well, yeah. So, but if you
Uh,
have any supplies, you're able to then cook them there, that kind of stuff.
I pick a ground floor room if there are any.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
make
you want to be in
yourself
one of
at
the
home.
dwarf rooms? I love it.
I mean,
Kyoko will stay
if the
near-
ceilings are low, it's not going to affect me, though Red might be annoyed.
But he's not summoned at the moment, so.
Oh, that's true. I will resummon him so he can have a chill time somewhere.
In the
But
room?
it needs to be on a ground floor room, ideally, to make sure he doesn't go through the floor.
So, you summon Red in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Cool. As you do that, you do your hands, you slam the ground, and he punches up through the floor. Just,
Okay, and then he stands up and
as he bashes his head into the ceiling.
sorry.
Now there's a big old hole, and says,
I'm so
It's
Am I
fine.
bigger
It's
than
Chuck's. He
usual?
can pay for it. It's fine.
why is the room big? Am I big? Is the room small? What's going on?
You're a bigger
Where's
room
everyone
small. I
else?
forget. I'm all the way down
Okay.
here.
There's a whole thing. Okay. I broke the floor.
We're just
That's-
sleeping here
oh,
anyway. You
no.
could just,
Oh, no.
hunker down and we'll sleep.
Chuck's gonna be mad.
Yeah, he probably won't even notice.
Okay.
Hey, what was that racket?
Nothing.
You're just resummoning Red. It's all good.
We're fine. Anyway.
he like sits down to cover the spot that he like broke through on the floor, and he just kind of like sits and like positions himself just for a little bit.
He comes here like once a decade. If he doesn't come in the room, he'll never know.
Fair.
All right, so I heard Kyoko was going to be next to who?
Kyoko will stay in a room near Azuka, or just kind of curl up in a ball in front of his door. I don't know. She's just gonna stay near where Azuka's at.
Okay, we'll say that like on every floor there is like a central common area that has like just some couches and stuff. You know, some places like to have little common area hideaways. If you want it to be on like a really nice sofa that's out there, it'd
Yeah,
still
if
be
there's, like,
covered,
a
still be nice.
sofa that also has like vision to where that hallway is in that room, then she could
Yeah.
lounge there.
100%. Find yourself a nice little cushion, curl around, pop to sleep. All right.
Chuck will be staying on the second floor, closest room to the staircase.
Sweet. Then, with that, everybody goes to bed unless there's anything else that you guys would like to do.
Mentala sets up in a wardrobe within the room, and like sets up like a makeshift bed made out of like spare clothes and towels and things.
I love it.
And we'll just
You
like
have
lie
like
back.
a towel tied to either side of like the inside of the wardrobe, so it creates this big old hammock. Yeah.
It's like
Mentala
wow.
could
I love
like
it.
sleep on one of my tails, and it would probably be like a bed.
Yeah, from in there,
It's
he's
real.
like, "It's no dollhouse, but it'll do."
It's
Oh,
adorable.
Didn't Kyoko want to talk to Chuck?
yeah. Kyoko would have shared the information with you when we all arrived, about the weird automatons conversation that she had a vision of. But mind you, like she's told everybody else, that sometimes these visions can be false too, so.
Not exactly something who can interject anyway. Who knows if they'd believe us, and if they did, who knows if they'd think we're the ones causing it.
Well, that's exactly what I told the others. Law enforcement don't always like to listen to my type.
Yeah. Needless to say, I thought it was something different that you wanted to talk about other than the group thing.
What did you think I wanted to talk about?
That was just how you phrased it. It's fine. It's kind of amusing, though.
In what way?
Hey, for the record, I'm a taken man. You saw my wife did as a doornail at the last place. Kind of chuckles.
Yoko's like, is he flirting with me? I'm not sure what's happening right now.
I think we've established that
I think
Chuck
he's
has
just sad.
no riz. Absolutely.
This is dark humor. I make
Oh,
these jokes
very,
all the
very
time. Kevin's
sad.
been around it.
Yeah. I know you're joking, and like I know the scenario here,
Yeah.
but
I think,
Oh,
well,
to
we
be-
all
like-
know. Chat might not know. The new people in chat might not know.
I mean, me and Drac are British, so we get it, but it isn't Riz.
Who said I had Riz? Nobody.
Oh my gosh.
oh,
She just kind of like thinks in her head, is he flirting with me? It's pretty dark flirting. And then she just says, well, I suppose part of you is taken, that is.
Yeah. Well, when two things become one, attributes of one tend to become part of the other. It's like a car. It's a sum of its parts.
Are you saying that you're in love with her?
It would seem so.
you do notice a very somber expression from Chuck. He has the body language. Although he might not fully understand why he's feeling that way, a part of him did experience the realization of loss, even though it hasn't been something that's been a part of him for a long time. So the signs are there. You assume he might be making dark humor as a way of trying to understand or form this sadness or express it in some way that he might not understand.
Well, sometimes people make jokes of things to help them try to get through things. And that's all right. Losing
And some
someone
people
is not easy.
Continue, sorry. And some people hide behind masks because
Some
there's-
people do both, she says, looking at you.
there are all different types of armor, aren't there?
Very much so. We have to guard our hearts some way.
And our friends and others.
Well, what I've come to learn is that as much as you try to guard whatever it may be, people will always find a way through.
Is it that they find a way through, or that your true self eventually finds its way out?
Depends on the situation, I suppose.
You know, I can't imagine what it's like to see things before they happen. I don't know if I could handle that.
It has some advantages and some disadvantages sometimes. I suppose there was a time when I didn't have visions. A simpler time. But you come to get a handle of it, to find where you belong in time and space. And sometimes, well, you lose yourself a little. And that's when it gets scary.
You know, I've seen enough of the minor things you've adjusted. Like pushing the gate earlier, so red didn't fall on it.
Yeah, I
Being
get these
faced with the
feelings sometimes.
Yeah. But being faced with the choice of whether to act or not knowing what the result is, or what you're causing or changing or altering, or if it even matters.
Precisely. It's the scariest part of it all. What if I do something that changes everything, but not in the way that I would hope? I suppose that's part of fate as well. The decisions we all make, the paths we take.
Do you think it was fate that brought us as a group together for this?
I very much think so.
Or was it a choice of yours in changing fate that led to here?
Possibly both. But I think, she looks around, I made a good decision.
But at what point do you actually get to choose what you want, instead of deciding what fate brings?
It's a very good question, Mr. Chuck. And I really don't have the answer. But I will say, ever since I've been gifted this, I do my best. And that's all we can do, right? Better and better every day, that's what I say. That's what my mama would say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss. If you want to talk about it, I'm always all ears. And her, like, little fox ears kind of twitch a little. And you can hear, like, the jingle of her. She's like jewelry that's hanging from it.
To be fully honest, it seems like you got more tails than ears.
Well, the tails don't hear much. They feel things, though. Don't get any ideas.
Regardless, humans have always wanted to be able to know what happens to them. Know fate, being able to change things and affect things.
They often
think
are
we're
my
blessed.
biggest customers.
Yeah. I think it's a blessing not to know.
I think so sometimes. But it can also be helpful. Just the other day, I had the gentleman rekindle his love. He's going about it all the wrong way, let me tell you. Sometimes all you have to do is just ask the lady what she wants. And then follow through with it.
Or simply be a helping hand because you have the ability to do so.
Well, that's just being a kind stranger, I suppose.
Then perhaps we both are affecting fate in one way or another.
Definitely. I think everyone is. They might not realize it, but all the little things we do throughout our lives, well, they change everything else that comes after. You know, turning the light switch on, picking up a glass, throwing something in the trash. Every little thing we do, well, has a ripple.
I'd like to think we're more than ripples on a pond at this point.
Think what you may. Everyone always wants to be a bigger than they really are, right? You want to be a wave instead of a drop.
And sometimes you just want to be smaller and less significant, even though your name means so much more.
I feel that on a different type of level. Maybe not the same way that you do. But sometimes I wish that I could just be and not have to worry about thinking about stuff. But I suppose we have to do what we must, right? For me, it is. I've been given a gift, and I don't want to waste it.
And I've been given everything at this point, and I can't help but give it away.
But maybe that's your gift. I think that it's better to give someone who doesn't want it all the things, because they'll know how to do the right thing with it, versus somebody who really thinks they want that and they waste it away. So, Charles Spadina, perhaps your gift is a little bit different than mine, but you're able to help others in a different type of way. Look, you're helping us, whatever this might be. Hopefully it's not aiding and abetting.
It is at least against whatever that is inside of Zuka.
Indeed. I'm a little worried about him.
I think he'll figure it out. It's just a matter of when and what happens when that occurs.
It's more about what decision they'll make when the time comes. We do crazy things for power, for love, to protect the ones we care so much about. And that's where the decisions will really matter.
At the ends of the earth.
Till the ends of time.
Pleasure chatting with you. I'll see you in the morning.
Always here. She grins, and then you just hear, like, I guess as you're walking away, some crackling till she turns into her true form. And she curls up in a little ball.
So as that's happening, Intala's in a towel hammock. Chuck's going to bed. Kyoko's going to the sofa. What's Azuka doing? You're finally in a room all alone, no one but you and your thoughts.
I think I'm kind of sat in bed, and I have the necklace, the pendant, with the photo of me and my parents in it, and I think I'm just taking some time and just I'm homesick, for honestly, a lack of a better term. We've traveled to very cold places, and every single one of them been in pretty much mortal danger, and that's just made me miss the comfortableness of home even more. So I think I'm just kind of sat on the bed looking down at this pendant with the photos of us in it, wishing I was there.
Fair.
And I don't know, I don't think I really realized how long I am sort of reminiscing, but at some point I will put the necklace back around my neck and try to get some sleep.
As you're thinking of home and everything you left behind, and you're going through such a change, such a drastic shift in how your life exists, and all of this is just running through your head constantly. It all just turns into this honestly, just at one point, it's just a tinnitus, and you just have this ringing as you lay your head down, lay on the pillow, and just relax. As you start to enter into sleep, start to dream. And you feel this calm come over you. And then suddenly, you feel from behind, like a hand come and grab the back of your throat, pull you down into the mattress, throw you, and you are now falling through the sky in the white space, hurtling down towards the surface. About 100 meters till you hit.
Wow, interesting. I think I'm screaming the entire time.
So you scream. As you look up, you see the shadowy figure up there, chains broken off of them. And you see this half of the shade is just gone, and you see a furious face with hair in the distance. And they push off of the sky, hurl down at you, grab you, and just plummet with you into the ground, creating a crater. And I need you to take 10 or 7 mental damage.
7 damage. Okay. As I wheeze as I slam into the ground.
You do not tell me what to silence, Pinocchio. You listen to Geppetto when he speaks.
And he picks you up and throws you through 2 buildings. I need you to make me a will save.
Oh boy. Okay. 20. 11 on the
You
die.
go through 2 buildings and you land now horizontal, standing on the building as if gravity doesn't affect you as you resist the attack. What do you do?
How far away is
He's
he
about
from
50
me?
yards. 50 yards now. Easy. He threw you half a football field.
I just go, you have no say in what I do with my body, and I'm going to cast some spells at him. I want to cast a magic missile.
All right.
Just
Make me a will attack.
will attack. I don't know what that would be.
So you're just going to roll a will save.
okay.
Actually, how would we do this? I'm trying to use your mentality, your control of your own mind. And I feel like the will saving throw is kind of the way
Will
to
is
do
based
it.
on wisdom, so wisdom-based attack.
Will save is definitely your mental
Yeah.
save.
Yeah, I rolled a 23,
Okay.
which is
So
a
then-
14 on the die.
All right. And you're trying to do magic missile.
Yeah.
How do you imagine it happening?
I think it's the case of I reach down and I reach down and I'm going through the normal movements of like flinging my arms, and the black energy comes out like missiles. But I think as I do that, sections of the very space we're in is what lifts up and flings towards this devil. And
So you almost warp the space-time around you.
yeah. And
Okay.
I will cast, I think I'll do all 3 of them. I think. 1d4, each additional action, increase number. Yeah, so I'll cast 3 at them.
Okay. You cast 9
Oh, okay.
as you're
Um,
in this space of total control, and you just go to do this thing that you know, and when it happens, it's all of these missiles at once just get launched out of you in a salvo.
okay, I'll roll that damage real quick. Okay, 20, then that's 29 points of damage.
All right, I'll go ahead and mark that down. As some buffet into him, he just goes, "Argh," slams down.
You will listen to me. Bow.
And as that happens, a huge rock wall shoots up in front of him, blocking some of the missiles, and then he pushes on it, and a giant wall of rock is now being launched at you.
Okay.
And as it gets right up in front of you, he punches through it, shattering the rock, and punches into you, into the building, and make me a will save.
22.
You hit, and as you do that, you grab him and twist and throw him into the building, and then he takes 11 points of damage. As when you throw him, it bursts through another 2 buildings out into a courtyard on the other side, where he's like falling and then skids on the back heels of his feet, digging his hand into the ground to stop himself.
Why do you keep resisting me? I am trying to make you strong.
I appreciate that, but attacking me in my sleep, trying to control my body, silencing me, isn't making me strong. You're trying to take whatever semblance of free will I have from me, and that is the very exact opposite of that. And you've been in my body for a long time. You should know I don't take kindly to people telling me what to do.
You have been my jail for 24 years. You have had all the freedom. You have been able to live. You have been able to have memories. You had parents. You had friends. You had an existence outside of this, and it is damn well my turn.
As he jumps back at you. Make another will save.
Okay. Nat 20.
Oh! Describe how you react to this. What is your perfect... You have full control of this space. You understand what's going on. You're having a fight within your soul for control.
I think now that there's a distance between us, beforehand it'd been almost like just reacting to taking these blows. I hadn't had a chance to center myself and get ready, and him talking, me being to throw him so far ahead, and then him taking more time to talk, I got myself into, I think, just my martial arts position, what I've learned from Nala. And as they jump, I think I take just enough of a step forward that when I bring my foot up, he comes into it, and I slam into his jaw and knock him flying backwards. And I think I put a spell into it as well.
Go for
and just
it.
instinctually, as I put in, I think it'd just be like hydraulic push, as my feet get covered up in almost like ice and water that slam into it, my feet, and then the water coming along with it to push him and knock him far
So
back.
as he comes up at you, you get ready. You're in your zone. And as you kick, water trails off of your leg, and as you hit, a torrent of water shoots out from you, launching him back, and he is sent spiraling again and just takes a massive hit. Go ahead and roll me a 4d12.
Okay. 22 points of damage.
Doubled.
Nice, you rolled a 12 on there.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's
Okay.
even low. You could have.
Yeah.
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 Holy crap.
I grow tired of this tomb, this prison. Let me go, or I will never stop. Every moment of weakness you have, I will exploit. Every time you relax, I will be there to fight and claw my way out.
I sigh, and I'm gonna just take a seat on the ground. I don't know how you end up in me. I'm not entirely sure why, honestly. But as long as you're here, you are my guest. And you'll follow the rules of my house.
As you say that, you see just the anger, like the shadow just gets disrupted, and this fury starts to well up as you see your red energy start to come off of him.
As much as you take from me, I'm gonna take from you. And if you've locked me in here, then I guess it's time for me to lock you up. You wonder why you never make deals with devils. Let me give you a lesson.
As he slams his hand to the ground and the red energy shoots out and cracks everywhere across the plaza as you realize you are actually back at the diner. The parking lot is sundered down as the world concaves down and these red chains shoot up at you. And I need you to make me a will save.
Okay. 18 is 9.
The
on
lowest roll he's had so far.
So
Yeah.
as you go to jump out of the way, you jump and then you get stopped as you look as these strings are coming up from your arms, bound into the sky as these little locks are there. And as you go to jump away, you get stopped and the chains start wrapping around you.
I will be free.
As he then turns his arm and throws, and you are launched by the chains and slammed into the ground. As you take 15 points of mental damage.
Okay. That is 26. Okay.
As you start to feel the chains like start to pull you into the ground. As he walks over to you.
Now this is better. Finally.
As the shadow starts to disappear, and on the side of him that was shadow, you have a perfect cut down the center. You on one side, and the other is this pale white-haired person, just shirtless entirely, going down, kneeling next to you, and just,
You know, when we made that deal, I thought you understood the partnership I was going for. But if this is going to be a dictatorship,
and you start to feel the chains pull you deeper underground.
then I can work with that.
As you get pulled underneath, and it's like you get pulled into a reflection world. As you see up, and you're now looking up at him as he is in there, but they are just, I think they're there, but then you're in this world and echoing around you, and now you're stuck on the other side of this wall, bound by chains.
I'm going to try to use any spells and just see if anything works to try to blast at these chains.
Make me a will save. Whatever you're imagining. Doesn't need to be a spell slot, doesn't need to be something you can do.
26.
You pull all of this energy into you, and you just burst, and just with a powerful explosion of this red electric energy shoots out from you, shattering the chains. And you now are looking at this just, it's almost like looking at the surface of the water. And you see the reflection on the other side. You see him just standing there looking at you.
I'm gonna use Dimensional Assault,
Go for it.
and I can just teleport half my speed to any point I can see.
Mm,
And I want to try and teleport behind him on the other side of this wall.
go for it. So you, boom, boom, and you're on the other side. What do you do?
Immediately going for a strike at the back of his head.
You go to punch, hit him in the back of the head, and he gets launched across the street into the diner, through the diner, landing into the stove that Greggles used to cook at. Roll me another 4d10 mental damage.
17. I said, in my house, you follow my rules.
He stands up, shakes himself off, cracks the neck, and just, okay, now.
You forget, and you seem to not get this concept. This is my house, too. I am not some burden put on you. You are the burden on me. You are nothing but a prison that I've been banished to. This place is not yours, it is ours. and I have just as much stake to this.
As he, with one hand, walks outside, picks up your mother's car, and just hucks it at you. Go ahead and make a will save.
So many goddamn will saves. Okay.
This is a
27.
mental battle, and you're doing so well. How do you cut the car in half as it comes at you?
I don't think I cut the car in half. I think
What do
I
you do?
jump and just like run across it and let it land behind me as I land on the other side.
Beautiful. It's coming for you, hood first. You jump, run across the hood over the top, and you jump off, do a little side flip as it's coming. And as you land, he's right there, ready to punch. Make me another save.
Luck's about to run out at some point. Let's see. Nat 20.
Okay. What? This is beautiful. End this scene.
As I leap, I think I see him. I think it's a case of not just seeing him. If I was able, I saw how he used the wall to distract me. I know he's going to do that again with the car. So I think even as I run across it and jump, I'm ready for it to be down there. And I bring my leg down and I'm going to shatter his arm. And it's going to be the same arm that mine has turned into the monstrous one. I'm going to break that arm as I bring it down in like an axe kick right down at the elbow.
You kick so hard. You shatter the floor, shatter the arm, shove him into that space that you just were. And as it starts to reform, you see him just...
I did make you strong, didn't I? Have fun, Pinocchio.
As the hole closes and he is now in that dark space. Now you are alone in the white space.
I'll need to figure out how to get out of here, I guess. And
Kyoko, outside, you feel this waves. Imagine every roll we did, you felt waves of energy just coming off of Azuka. Just negative, negative, positive, negative. Like all of these emotions. And
I
you...
think-
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
You go in, you jump up in fox form, turn the knob, spin around, open the door, and you see Azuka is just like shifting and fighting in their sleep.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to be part of this. I think that Kyoko will try to bring them back from
How
whatever
do you
nightmare or whatever is happening inside.
do it?
I think she'll just try, kind of shaking them a little bit first. If that doesn't work, she'll do more drastic measures.
As you touch Azuka as they're going through this, you almost connect, and as you feel the little, are you in human form or are you in true form?
I'm in true form.
So you feel a little paw. It's like pushing on your arm, like trying to shake you awake. And you feel this connection.
I'm gonna try and I'm gonna sit down on the ground cross-legged.
Mhm.
My hands on my palms up and meditate and focus on that body part that Kyoko is touching.
The calm you feel after the adrenaline that you just felt is unnaturally instant as you start to feel that tingle go through all of your limbs again, and you feel that the arm that you broke on your reflection starts to really burn. And you feel the broken bone and you feel the heat, and your eyes wake up. And Kyoko, the eyes woke up and the arm that was the monstrosity arm burst into flames.
Kyoko will spirit link and try to take all the damage.
So as that happens, the fire trails up onto the shoulder across.
In 10 minutes, I can't do it. Never mind.
Okay. Screw it. It's fun. It happens. You do it immediately. It launches up across the shoulder into you, and then it gets pulled into your tails and almost dissipates out as just this heat as you watch the transformed arm completely shift back. You have a normal hand, but then there's these still a little bit like scaled section up to the forearm that has these different cracks of energy through them. That red kind of pulsing, so it almost as if it's condensed away from the hand.
Sick. The house doesn't light on fire. That was the house's fortitude save.
Of course, I don't want to say you wasted the nat 20, but if there is another roll.
I think that Kyoko just says in your head, "Are you all right?" Wrong voice. Sorry. Are you all right?
Yes. I appreciate it, but can you not do the thing? I think especially now.
What happened?
I think you're right. The devil was definitely stewing. I think I was able to handle it, but I don't think. I don't think that'll be the last I hear from it. My hand.
Kyoko will take the shield that she had gotten, and I think she gives it to Azuka and says, "I think you're going to need this more than I am."
Yeah, I think I'll take that. Thank you.
Is there anything I can do? Do you need some healing?
I think. Actually, before I say this, how long have I been asleep? Can I still get a long rest, or has my long rest passed and I still have this damage?
You were asleep as long as that took. That's how long your eyes have been closed. So it's only been about 10 minutes.
Okay. I think nothing that some rest can't fix. If this isn't too much, and you can say no, obviously, but could you sleep in my room with me tonight?
Of course.
Thank you. And I will get one of the pillows on the bed, which I imagine is a king size bed or something, and set it down by mine for Kyoko to sleep in.
Yeah, Kyoko will kind of step on top of it and curl up, and I think she's pretending to be sleeping, but she's really keeping an eye on Azuka. And I think she doesn't sleep.
Okay.
I guess Azuka tries to sleep. I don't know if he does.
Then, with that, Azuka has their mental battle to try to sleep again. Maybe just laying there with your eyes closed.
I'll roll a will save.
Let's do it. There it is!
Oh! I'm sleeping.
You took it. Took it away from me.
I can't.
The balancing in that one.
Then
The balance is even. That's the way to end the episode, is on a nat 1.
None of that damage actually affected your body. It was just a way to see who won. So you didn't take any damage for tomorrow.
Okay.
as you lay down with your eyes open, just kind of having this silence with Kyoko at the foot of the bed. Camera pulls up through the brick, through the top of the building, up into the sky, then gets launched out into the forest, down into trees across train tracks, as you see 4 automatons around a stump.
All right. Then it's a go.
And that's what we're in for today.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Oh damn.
I was
Oh
on
my
fire for a bit there.
Sounds like 2 of our party are gonna have the fatigue condition the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than being controlled for the train. That was
That would
interesting.
be terrible. God, I was rolling really good.
You were doing
Damn.
so well.
Oh my
It was-
gosh!
Your
you
rolls were
so good.
absurd.
Okay, as a GM, it is beautiful to watch your character development and hold your own and be able to say no to these things, but also lose once, please.
I mean, I lost to, in the end, I lost to Insomnia. So that's really
fair. I'll take
Hey.
it. I'll take the win. I'll take it.
Oh, you know what?
Listen.
I want to roll to see if I sleep as well. Let's see. It would be funny if it was both.
Just both
Net-
that
Oh,
one.
we so good.
net ones.
We'll say you toss and turn.
Yeah.
Chuck lost plenty today. He can't flirt with the darn.
No.
You have your own special way of doing it.
That was
Oh dear.
such an experience to witness. So I was like, what is happening?
We're gonna have a
so
good
glad there's
episode.
clips. Yeah, we're gonna get into it in the after show. Let's do our announcements.
You want
and
to hear our inner thoughts and also know what Kyver who he thought that the items were actually going to go to.
oh,
You definitely want to check out our after show, which you can get access to on our Patreon.
Yep. So, the announcements for today are... Press the buttons. Thank you, Thunder Cabbage, for supporting today's episode. Who was also, I think, was responsible for that pun NPC name. I think
No
because I
way.
think his name is S on Patreon. So I think the Is it
Oh,
my
really?
turn?
Thank
That's
you for
hilarious.
my turnips. loved it.
Yeah, my turn.
Loved
yep.
it.
So that worked perfectly. Thank you very much,
My
Thunder
ship
Cabbage.
for Chuck and Turnip Lady is Churnip.
Churn
Churn up.
God.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Turn up for what?
Like you would know.
So daylight savings.
No.
Daylight. Oh dear.
Sorry,
Daylight
but with
savings.
that flirting, I had to hit you with it.
The show's going back to the normal time next week. When the clocks finish changing for everywhere they're gonna change, it's gonna go normal again, unless you're in some weird place where the clocks never change, in which case it's now just gonna be. It's gonna move an hour earlier, but it's probably gonna move an hour later again, or if it never, I can't, whatever. You get the idea.
Time.
6 p.m. UK time.
I hate this part of this 2 yearly event
Yep.
so much. I hate everything about it. I hate organizing things within this period. I hate talking about it. I hate having to do the mental calculation every time to make sure I have it the right way round. It's the worst.
Anthem.
I'm not.
We should have had Katie for a guest during this time because we always have Katie on.
No,
as
no,
a
no. It's
guest.
not Kate. It's Mackenzie. We always had on for
Oh,
Ascension when we were
Mackenzie.
doing the time
Oh my god, we
changes.
should have had Mackenzie on again.
To make yourself feel better, Bentham, middle of the game, I messaged Tyler. I was just like, do we end at 1 or 2? I forget what's going on.
How far
What
are
are we
we
gonna
in?
do
I don't
here?
know anymore. What
Yeah.
is time?
It will
Oh,
be
dear.
Brain
normal.
is farting. I need to know.
We're going back to normal.
It returns to relative normalcy next week. We'll tweet about it.
God.
You'll just keep an eye out. NPC names post is out, so you can continue to contribute ridiculous pun names that Kyber has to
I love
somehow
it.
integrate into the show.
I love it.
My favorite is.
I hope people know that so far,
It's,
every time I've
PvP.
needed an NPC, when these guys go somewhere weird, I just pop open the tab, go, there we go, and then we go
Okay.
with it. So
I was so happy when you said Spee, because I've seen that on the list for years. Like, it's never gonna get
Love
taken. No one's gonna make a character called that, but you did it. and I love you for it.
Gotcha.
The
In Ed
character
Flanders
sheets will be
Hotel.
coming soon if I can get my act together, but you saw I tried to explain the time thing, so don't get your hopes up. And the live monthly recap will be on Tuesday, the 28th at 4:30 p.m. UK, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. I got it right this time. And also, next week we're going to be having our first guest, Alicia Marie.
Yay!
It's a train party, everybody.
Oh yeah. And it's not a murder on the Denver Express. It's the Great Denver
heist?
Express heist.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure, that's
Or
what it is,
something.
of course.
Yeah, totally.
It will
We're
end
also-
up being accidental murder or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're not,
probably.
Yeah,
doing
totally
any
accidental.
murder. But it's a total no murder, definitely no murder, no intentional murder anyway.
Yeah.
We're still
Yes.
robbing a train somehow. We're sponsored by Roll20. That's what we use today to roll all of the nat 20s and the one nat 1 and the many 19s.
Bro.
Yeah.
So we appreciate its quantum roller system for
Mhm.
smiling upon us today and making
Thank
all
you
these
so
epic
much.
moments happen.
We've had some days where it's been on the other side, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the
Um,
days for it to be on this end, today was a good one.
So
It
let's
really
go
was.
through- let's go through where you can find people. Let's start with
Little
our
sneak peek.
resident.
It really was.
We'll start with the resident nat 20 roller for today. Drac, what do you do? Where
Yeah.
can we find you?
I am Draconics, also known as the resident Nat 20 roller. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I'm streaming all a bunch of different places. The only thing I will shout out is that I am writing for Revenant Society, which is a TTRPG like board game that's hit Kickstarter almost a month now. We're in the last 24 hours, I think, and we just hit my stretch goal, which I'm very excited about. And that's
Bravo.
again about you wake up and you've died and you're trying to figure out why and how you've died, so you're going through the same loop over and over again trying to investigate your own death, which I'm very excited about. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've written a weird amount of time loop stuff. I think I might have been typecasted for some reason. I've written a lot of time travel, time loop stuff, but it's going to be fun. We've got some really cool writers on that, so if you want to get that on Kickstarter, I tweeted it on my Twitter, so you can find it there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right, not in the usual place today. Maggie, where can we find you right now and in general?
I am at PAX. If you see me at PAX, come say hi, because I'm too shy and I won't do it. And I also don't know what you look like. So come find me, say hi. I apologize in advance if I'm awkward. But yeah, I'm at PAX right now. And I also do lots of things on the internet. If you want to check it out, you can head on over to Margaret Crone in all of the places except for TikTok. I'm Margaret Crone 1337 because someone else has my name. But yeah, come see all the things. I do lots of stuff on the internet. A podcast just went out with 3 Black Halflings, which is pretty awesome. I highly recommend checking it out. And I also make games and video games for a living. I'm working on a project called Ashes of Creation, which you can find at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. And that is me.
Let's go over to Tyler. What are you up to at the moment?
Besides not having any Riz,
I was like, I was
you know,
gonna make a joke, and I'm like, it's too much. I'm just gonna.
Come on, Lucky Chuck.
it's all right. I'll make it for you. I could feel it in the psychic
you know, I-
resonance
you
of
know
the
I
door.
would've been in on that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You can find me over on my podcast called Go My Favorite Sports Team. It is a sports podcast, but it's not for sports people. It can be enjoyed by them, but it's designed for those that don't know sports. It's comedy based, it's educational, and it's fun. I do that with my friend Mark, aka Markiplier. But you can also find me on social media as apocalypto_12, or you can simply search my name. I'll probably pop up. It's simply Tyler Scheid.
And our GM for today, Kyber, where can we find you? What are you up to?
I'm on all the big T's of social media, the Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. So Kyber, KyberVO, KyberTTV, all that fun stuff. Stream a lot, do fun things, have some fun stuff in the works. But yeah, I like doing this. This is fun. I want to do more of this.
It's addicting. What about
It
you,
is.
Bentham? Where can people find you at?
I am Bentham, and for dumb reasons, you can find me at places usually called some variation of mangled pork. And there I do lots of Let's Plays and that kind of thing recently. Been doing a lot of bar trauma. We actually had Kyber along for the ride. We managed to kidnap him and steal him away on our submarine and subject
I
him
almost
to
drowned.
alien monsters.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was great. I almost drowned, almost got eaten. It was a great time.
Hey, we
Yeah,
need our
it's great.
GM. Don't drown him.
He had a great time. He'll totally be back, right? We didn't traumatize
Yeah,
him.
totally.
Loved it.
Totally.
You know, casual drowning.
Yeah, I'll totally be back.
It was Kevin's monthly bath drowning.
I am
Monthly.
Thank you. God.
Wow, it's gonna be wild when Kyoko dies next week.
Yeah. Actually,
But
I've
she
been
didn't see
meaning to
that
talk to you
coming,
about
so-
time loops. Maybe we can trap her in one.
I'm ready. I'm
just
here
winks
for
out
it.
of existence because she's in a time loop forever, so we never
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
her again.
You have a
This
backup
whole story
character,
is
right?
just Kyoko reliving a time loop.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I can show up in the mage campaign.
No.
Oh dear.
That'd be
Also,
great.
I should probably start mentioning this. I'm terrible at doing my own promos usually, because somewhere recently I did a promo and forgot to mention Roll For It until after I'd done my promo and had to go back and promo Roll For It because I'm so used to only promoing on Roll For It. But
What?
it's fine. It's gonna get spliced in, but there's gonna be a thing coming out with me in it soonish, and also I'm gonna be at a convention. I'm gonna be at Insomnia I-70 in 2 weeks' time over in
Ooh.
Birmingham. So that's a thing. I need to remember to announce that's a thing that's happening. I'm doing that. I do conventions now. We'll see what goes. It's gonna be a disaster.
You reminded me that I completely forgot about something like that too. I'm going to be in Gen Con in August helping Kobold
Hey!
Press with Maggie. We're going to be GMing and DMing some of their stuff and their flagship new series, their new TTRPG that's coming out.
Yeah, we're reaching
So
the
if you
stage
want to have a
where
game by us, show up.
we're reaching the stage where we have to remember that real space exists and things happen in it that we have to talk about again.
Right.
We've reached that stage, mercifully.
Come find us
but-
IRL and say hi.
Yes, but we've reached the stage where we're going to go and do our after show. So we're going to wrap it up here, and we're going to see you next week. Or if you're a patron, you'll see us in the after show in a couple of days' time, where we're talking about this. So, till then, may the dice will ever in your favor.
Doodles.